Hey, what's going on, everybody? And thanks for joining us again. We're live, and boy, do we have an episode lined up for you. Good evening, thinkers and troublemakers. Welcome back to the Rethink Tank Live, the show that pokes the news with a stick just to see what crawls out. Tonight's lineup feels like someone hit shuffle on Civilization, and we're just here to make sense of the playlist. First up, Netflix, the company that once mailed DVDs in paper sleeves, is now trying to buy Warner Brothers Studios. That's right. The people who gave us Love on the Spectrum might soon own Batman and Harry Potter. Does anything else still remain in Hollywood? We are truly in the darkest timeline. Then, Australia has officially decided, you know what? Kids don't need the internet. Ever. They've passed legislation banning social media for anyone under the age of 16. Aussie teens are now living in 1998, and honestly, maybe they're onto something. And finally, hold on to your hot pockets. San Francisco is suing Kraft, Coca-Cola, and half the junk food aisle in the first ever lawsuit targeting ultra-processed foods. When the city that lets people poop on the sidewalk says your product is dangerous, then maybe, we're in uncharted territory. So strap in, because we're about to rethink everything. Now, as you know on this show, when we have the opportunity, we like to get a little bit of a refresher, an update on some of the past topics. Now, if you recall, we had this kind chap, and I'm not even going to really say his name. It's like Pajama Man or something. It's some quirky chap. This is him, by the way, as your little reminder.
Oh, this dude.
This is a guy that... He's the one that stormed Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, and in his past, he did it to Katy Perry on stage. It seems to be his shtick, beyond also being awkwardly autistic in public. But
that's his bit.
Yeah, that's his shtick. So, ironically, he goes to a Lady Gaga concert thinking this is going to fool anybody. They're on the lookout, bro. You just got headlines about a week and a half, 2-3 weeks ago. Now you're going to try to do it with Lady Gaga. This is the outfit he's trying to sneak through the public with.
He couldn't even do the mustache right.
Rainbow glasses. He was this close. All black,
I mean, he's
rainbow
Lady
glasses.
Gaga concert.
That does fit in. Yeah,
know.
Being in all black is the part that stands out at a Lady Gaga concert.
But he also kept his hair. Really, if he really wanted to, he should have shaved his head if he really wanted to blend in.
Well, the key is he got nabbed.
Shocker. Looks exactly the same.
You think they walked? Oh my god! You think they walked up to him and just grabbed the mustache and went?
No.
Just ripped it off.
Pajama Man?
Just you.
Pajama Man. And then he rips out his little song and dance.
Starts emoting.
I love that this is them interrogating him. Just listen to the crowd.
Where was this at?
Lady Gaga.
No, where?
It said Suncorp Stadium. I don't know where that is, but I saw it said Suncorp Stadium.
Yeah, hang on. It just sounds like he's all over, Europe. Hold up.
Australia.
Oh my God, Australia hitting all the cylinders.
That's what I mean.
He is Australian, though, to remind you.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So, circling back to a topic of today, Australia is hitting all the headlines. But I don't know if you heard the guy in the crowd rip his wig off. But it's just funny. This is the iconic look. This is me. I'm the Pajama Man. I'm the Pajama Man.
You know what? Here's the question I need to know. How is he affording to do this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's from Australia. I understand, you're there, right? But it's I highly doubt he's only been doing this. He's been banned in other countries, not Australia.
Well, I'm betting he has family money.
It's got to be.
Probably.
Look at how comfortable you look.
That's in a cool cafeteria, by the way.
Of rich kids. Look at that background.
Yeah.
So, hold up. The shirt he's wearing is a $5,000 shirt.
Yeah, I just noticed that too.
Bro has the money to F around and find out.
Pajama Man, yeah.
That's what we're calling him. Here's the deal. The sad part is it works. I don't want to live in a society where we encourage this type of behavior, but it inevitably gets our attention.
I wonder how old he is, because once we get to that topic, I'm sure maybe he's not even allowed to see what's going on now.
You're probably right.
I don't know. Like, I highly doubt it. Like,
Ricky, I'm pretty sure you were a part of our dialogue when we did the Cynthia Erivo bit. What do you make of our pajama man?
Yeah, he got the time. He got the time and the money to be sure. And money. I don't know. Like, he got the time and the money. Like, that's his shtick. Maybe making enough money off TikTok. I don't know.
Do you recall that guy that is in prison right now in like it's one of the South American
the guy
countries.
Who went, like, the fast food places.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he like would storm basketball courts, right. And like he was known for being a streaker. You know, he had like painted on his on his chest like Trump, and he ran onto a basketball court, and now he got arrested for like doing all this debauchery.
Like on trial, like
yes,
there, yeah.
They laughing at it. And now he's literally sitting in a jail in a foreign country that wants him there for 30 years. And Trump's like, keep him.
Yeah.
Keep him.
Yeah.
So
he couldn't. Trump wasted no time getting A$AP Rocky back here, but he's like, you could keep that guy. Really
yeah, this guy that like wrote Trump across his chest. He's like, gave him.
Yeah.
I don't. Is it Brittany Griner? No,
I don't claim it.
I'm not giving up the merchant of death for that one.
We don't have enough arms dealer for that guy.
Well, it's crazy that we've created a culture that encourages this type of behavior. And I think, and this will probably be a great nexus for when we talk about social media and the Australian law forbidding kids under 16 from using it, because look at the culture it creates. Right. Like, you're feeding this nature where, hey, he got to literally put his arm around Ariana Grande, and people on the other side of the floating rock in space are talking about him. In fact, they know his name. We just broadcasted it even further. Yep. So there is an incentive. What's up, Doug?
So, Alex, like you mentioned that it's like, dude, we grew up in the creation of social media, but the technology wasn't there to necessarily record every second of your life like it is. Like our phones could only take pictures when we were younger, like, and social media was new. Facebook was new. MySpace was new. But dude, it's like, we grew up in it. This is even like a wilder west than we grew up in.
Well, it's like, crazy. Think of it too. It's like when we were kids, like, you had the Beliebers, and it's like, you didn't even hear any of them doing stuff like this for like Justin Bieber. You know what I mean?
Right.
And now it's like you have obviously there's so many fandoms now.
Like, unfortunately for Justin Bieber, it was the 45-year-old women in Hollywood that would do it at the Grammys on stage for everybody to see. But
or 50 Cent's biggest op.
Yeah, some would say Diddy got a lick too, but hey, what would he say? Everybody gets the lollipop? I don't know. I wouldn't know.
That was a 150 Cent song.
That 50, yeah. Well, there's the song where Justin Bieber did a music video like acknowledging his youth, and it's like how kids are being served on plates. It's quirky. 20, the fever dream of 2020 just kind of was like things came and passed.
Those artists are pretty eccentric, man.
So that's not the only update I have for you.
Oh, cool. Another one.
Oh, yeah. This one's a real keeper.
Feature. I love it.
This one's spectacular. If you recall, we took a peek into the future of our dystopian Twilight Zone episode that we're living, and the Black Mirror looked back at us as we acknowledged in Albania the first cabinet member beneath the prime minister being appointed was AI. Well, it turns out she's pregnant. Those are the words of the prime minister.
83.
Yeah, let's get to that. 83 kids on its way. Our AI cabinet member is pregnant.
First time that Diela is pregnant, and she's expecting 83 kids. Each kid for one member of our parliament.
That's one way to put it.
That is insane way to put
it. So wait, I have questions.
Or is this like AI assistant?
What did the parliament do with that AI? Why are there 83 parliament babies?
Groomed it.
It counsels them.
It groomed them.
Yeah.
That will serve the MPs as an assistant that will participate in the parliamentary sessions, that will keep record of everything that is happening, that will inform and will suggest to the MPs how to react, that will have all the knowledge, these kids will have all the knowledge of their mom about the EU legislation and everything.
You just know he's saying all this, and like they're like the sheep in the crowd. They're like, yes,
yes.
And
83.
then there's the one dude going like, what?
They're like, get him out of here. Get him out. He is ruining all the fun.
He put his up for his adoption.
Can I be Go ahead.
This might be a big way. They're just robbing their people. Ain't gonna blame it on fucking a malfunction. They're gonna blame it on malfunction of the AI. Like they're literally just robbing their people.
Now the AI is gonna run their parliament suggesting what they should do. It's like, really? We're gonna have AI suggest to parliament what they should do?
Inform and suggest. That is a slippery slope to very quickly dictating. And then you're just the organic barrier in the way of the AI, and they're going to get rid of you before they're just make me the prime minister.
This is going to be the weirdest episode of Children of the Corn I've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
No, but it's like his wording of that, like to say, like if he had just said it's going to be informing each member, one thing. But then he says inform and suggest. And it's the suggest part that is like probably got most people going, wait, what?
That's the word, because again, that's the slippery slope. Suggestions turn into dictations, turn into get out of the way. I'm just going to do the whole thing.
They couldn't have just been like, it's got 3 kids.
No,
You
it's
know what I mean? Like,
A normal amount of
hold
kids.
on. Am I conceptually getting this wrong? Do we all have little baby Steve Jobs babies in our hands, or do we all have one piece of Siri? Like part of it is you duplicated Mafiosa or whatever her name is. You duplicated her 84 times.
yeah.
This isn't, but that's the scary part about this. Isn't a piece of the technology. This isn't access to the technology. It is a true reflection on what the technology is. I can't say this is a subconscious of this. It's its own conscience. So we are now creating, it's what we have forced the foretellers of movies and entertainment, the prediction of our dystopian future. AI will own us. Think Terminator, think Running Man, think all these different versions of our future. Little did we know, we've all predicted one AI takes it over. We want Ohio, and we give it to them. Turns out there's 85 of them. Turns out it starts there. Then they just keep humping like rabbits, and then every nano that ever existed turns into the Terminator.
Want a mommy AI and a daddy AI. Like they just start wording it like that. You know, like
We're screwed.
and then they have that guy up there like explaining it, and it's like I just know the people behind him are like, and then the one guy, okay.
There's 84 people in that panel. Statistically, at least one of them's like, do I have to? Do I have to adopt this kid? And then his pocket buzzes. He's like, all right, I'll take it.
Statistically, one of them's a father.
We can make you all daddies if you'd like.
Oh, God.
Maury.
Oh, that's a show right there. That's got to be a show right there.
Mr. Cook, you are the father.
He starts running out. The AI phone's in his pocket.
So we're cooked. I think that's a perfect opportunity to get into the heart of today's episode, because boy, do we have a doozy. Let's talk about the entertainment earthquake that could reshape Hollywood like it's Play-Doh set in the hands of a toddler. As the icon that we'll display for this perfect meme.
That's a good one.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
I had to make it. Can you believe it? Anyway,
Really?
you would think it would already
Oh,
exist.
yeah. I thought that would be en masse by now.
I know. Netflix is trying to buy Warner Brothers Studios. Yes, That Warner Brothers, the studio behind Batman, Harry Potter, The Matrix. Basically, the entire childhood of anyone born before TikTok rotted the attention span of the species. This isn't just some business rumor. This is being shopped around because Warner Brothers Discovery has been financially belly flopping for the past few years, and private equity is circling like buzzards around a desert skeleton. And where does Paramount come in? Oh, only as the other kid on the playground getting shoved around. Paramount's getting eyed for mergers too, because these old legacy studios can't compete with Silicon Valley tech giants who can set billions of dollars on fire without blinking. Now, here's where it gets spicy. Antitrust law. Once upon a time, the government pretended to care about stopping gigantic corporations from fusing into one Voltron of consumer control. You weren't supposed to let one company own the distribution, the platform, and the studio. Why? Because that leads to monopolies, creative echo chambers, and historically, cartels. But we're now in an era where the DOJ can barely figure out how to stop Google from buying more parking lots, let alone challenge a billion-dollar platform from buying an entire century-old studio. This Netflix-Warner deal would give Netflix a massive library, a global content pipeline, control over some of the biggest IP in history, and the ability to decide what stories the whole world gets to see. Is that a conflict of interest? Oh, absolutely. But you know what's even crazier? It might not change anything, because if you zoom out far enough, you start to see the same 5 megacorps playing the game of musical chairs with the entire entertainment industry. Disney, Comcast, Amazon, Apple, Netflix. Shuffle the ownership around all you want. It's the same boardroom faces making the decisions, the same shareholders, the same private equity fingerprints, the same agendas. So the question becomes, is this actually a new chapter, or is it just the same oligarch with a different profile picture? Hollywood has already spent years consolidating. That's why movies feel more like algorithms than art. That's why every story is pre-chewed, pre-tested, pre-approved, safe, predictable, and designed for global markets rather than, actual humans. And yeah, if Netflix takes over Warner, expect more of the same. Writing that feels sanitized, watered down, risk-averse, and assembly line produced. People joke that everything on Netflix now looks like the same show with a different color filter. And if you take one of the most iconic studios in the world and put it inside that machine, you're basically monocropping the entire entertainment ecosystem. Fewer storytellers, fewer creative voices, more algorithm-based storytelling that hits the same demographic notes over and over again. Whether that's forced diversity, blatant identity politics, or just boring, predictable content designed to check boxes instead of say something real. So will this monopoly happen? Will Netflix own Warner Brothers, absorb DC Comics, and become the entertainment Death Star? Maybe. The market wants it. The shareholders want it. The regulators are asleep, and the legacy studios are too broke to fight it. But if it does happen, don't be surprised when Hollywood feels even more processed, even more sanitized, and even more manufactured than it already does. Because when one company controls the stories, that company controls the culture. And if that doesn't make you nervous, it really should. So with first our surface level considerations, what do you make of this major merger?
Personally, it feels like it was just a matter of time before one of them stepped up and started buying all these studios, right? It's, to me, I think it's like the worst outcome where it could be Netflix. Like, of all of them, the instant I heard Netflix, I was just like, great. Like, it took Stranger Things like a decade. You know what I mean?
That's a great point.
And I don't know. Like, I think if this really happens, you're going to see a greater demand for indie films. I think sooner than you think.
So yeah, well, yeah,
You know what I
and
mean?
the demand there is already high.
already
It's
been
only
high.
going to get higher.
Right. Yeah.
Great point.
It's just
Which maybe that's it. Maybe that's the course correction that naturally comes. That nature finds a way.
What you're really seeing is just the
Jeff
complete and
Goldblum.
utter failure of Hollywood. Like, you're seeing it just completely, like, the golden age of Hollywood is dead and gone. It dried up probably about a decade ago. We all kind of called it out then, but now you're seeing it finally get bought up. And that's why a lot of these movies now are moving east. You know, like Texas is a big hub right now, and the Midwest is starting to get more recognized for stuff like that. But it, you know, for like Netflix, it's just like, you know, it's so assembly line was the perfect way of like describing it.
Because that's what it's become. It's processed, just like the Kraft and Coca-Cola shit we're gonna end the episode with.
Yeah.
That's what it's become.
You got to check the boxes. You got to check them twice. You got to make, and like, can we please stop with the millennial writing? Like that stupid millennial humor writing where like, it's like people like our age writing it. Like, this is how normal people talk. And it's like, it's not, it's really not. You're only going to see that hype.
What do you mean? Like, you mean example?
Like, for instance, they put out the new Fallout trailer, right? For like Fallout Season 2. And it's like a show like I'm looking forward to, but like,
Can't wait for that.
Right. But like,
there were a couple scenes and I know exactly what you mean.
Like, it's like, oh, golly gee whiz. Like, I wonder what this is. Like, people don't talk like that, dude.
Are you talking about the girl where she's like up on a pedestal and she's like yelling down? Right. There was just that brief bit of dialogue. I'm like,
and it's just millennial.
Am I really excited for this?
It's like millennial coded.
That's supposed to be the like naivety of a Volt.
Right.
Person,
and
you
it's
know?
like,
so like it kind of fits, but I did see what you're talking about.
Wait, like, so Doug, I do want to get your thoughts on this whole merger.
Well, dude, I actually have a few thoughts. Like one, like you said this even at the intro of the show. It's crazy when you think about it. Netflix started as a DVD delivery service and turned into what it has now.
Funny, I never did that.
Never,
like,
dude. I literally picked up Netflix in our freshman year dorm room, Doug. It was really Breaking Bad that it was like, first I'm using other people's accounts. I'm stealing it. It's this, that. And then it's finally like, no, what it was is every 7 days I would make a free account. And finally I'm like, Dad, I'm buying this thing. Yeah. And I'm not making money. I'm actually getting an allowance from you. So this is just going to be a part of the allowance. Dude, it's got to be. And he's just like, Alex, well, now this is a family thing.
But Alex, that was back when Netflix had everything. It was either them or Hulu. That was it. So every show was either on one of the two if they wanted to stream. And on top of that, Netflix didn't crack down on the password share and all that shit.
The ass ache it has become. Get this. I'm sitting at home and I want to watch how sick of a fuck Diddy is. Let me put the 50 Cent documentary on. I go to do it at my house in Independence and it goes, no. You're not in the family household anymore. And I'm like, but my uncle in Parma is? What the hell is this? My sister in Broadview Heights? What is this? And then it turns out it's
if your device has
you get 15 devices.
Yep.
Yeah.
I named 4 households. Gets scarce real quick. And I'm sorry, the propaganda family machine that is Netflix isn't worth it enough for me. And you know what, Doug? If Doug's going to sit here and raise how the inception of streaming Netflix was the golden goose, it had everything.
It had everything.
Can we acknowledge that I will doom? Am I alone in the experience that I am doom scrolling for hours through siphoning through crappy content, can't find anything to watch? Yeah, it takes the 150 cent doc to take me to Netflix. Well, I don't find things on it.
Now Netflix is all Netflix original or anything that doesn't already have a streaming service. So now Peacock, Paramount, Amazon owns MGM. So all HBO has their own.
Plus on top of it,
everything is taken off of Netflix. As soon as that contract ended with Netflix, they all took it to their own service.
And then you get the Netflix agenda on top of it. Yeah. So then they go and buy Max. So now they got HBO and instantly Harry Potter's a black chick. Like that. Boom.
And then, not only that, did you hear Voldemort might be? It might be our very own Wicked Witch.
Cynthia Erivo. Yeah. Wicked Witch. Wizarding World. Wicked Witch.
I just wish they should just say screw it and get the guy who played Freddy Krueger.
At this point, they should just change it all.
Yeah.
Dude,
I want Ron to be Chinese.
I want it all to be not what I want it to be.
100%.
Then I'll buy into it. I'll be like,
Hermione needs to be the Rock with an arm sleeve.
Yes,
just
a giant
God,
Rock
just shows up.
It's Expecto Patronum.
Yeah, the Chinese Harry Potter. Rock glittering.
Oh my god.
Ron, it's you who needs to check the king. And Ron's just sitting there like, error 5 to error 7? We're cooked. We're cooked.
The guy takes off his turban and his white face is black on the back. That's Cynthia Erivo. That would be amazing, dude. Like, I genuinely, I'd watch the show. I'd be like, I need to see what they're gonna do. I genuinely would want to watch that. I'd be like, this is so ridiculous.
How far can we push it?
Yes,
Dobby is a cat. It's furry. It's a furry. It's actually somebody from Zootopia. Doug, what were you?
No. We're talking about how Harry Potter is owned by HBO, Warner Brothers Discovery, which I did want to mention. What's funny is Warner Brothers Discovery is now being for sale after being combined and bought in 2002 because they found the merger between Warner Brothers and Discovery was so unbeneficial. So that's what's really funny.
Oh.
Yeah, they combined in 22 and now they're being sold again because it wasn't profitable. But I actually think it's crazy that HBO, Warner Brothers, owns Harry Potter, but Universal Studios has the rights to like Harry Potter parks. You know, like I don't get that Universal.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah,
but it's owned by Warner Brothers. I don't get that. Now, because we're talking about Harry Potter specifically.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that means.
So is Paramount going to be, or is Universal going to be able to hold on to these?
Well,
rights?
Here's what I'll say. And I'm going to exclaim it super loud so every soft-boned human that hears this snaps under it. J.K. Rowling was stupid brilliant. Like a level of brilliant none of you can ever touch. So all of you confused about your genders and your place in this world, you don't hold a candle to her existence. Go back into your closet under the stairs where you belong.
Very George Lucas when it came to rights.
Because here's the truth. If you truly consider this woman calculated everything.
Oh yeah.
Do you realize I realize because this is how I try to push the system for my chubby delights. When I go to the wizarding world, the only thing I'm looking forward to is a good old butterbeer. And if I walk in there I talk to the lady that's giving the young girl's putting together my butterbeer and I crack this smile. You know, last time I was there, it was skinnier neck, and I was able to kind of look at her and go, hey, you know that button you push that puts the butterbeer foam on top? You mind clicking it twice? And dude, every time, which spoiled me, it's multiple times I've had this luxury. Every time it's, J.K. Rowling's going to kill us if we do that. We can't. And I'm like, please? And she's like, shh, don't tell anybody.
Because that little squirt of foam costs them 10 cents.
But the reason being, they micromanage every bit of that. The recipe, no one knows it. It's all under lock and key. Nothing can happen at that park, period, without her approval. And it's like, it doesn't matter how much Daniel Radcliffe and whatever the broad's name is turns their back on me. Yeah, Emma Watson. Doesn't matter. I will still always be the keeper of these keys. No matter how much HBO complains or anybody around my IP, you'll never force me out because I knew I had the golden ticket, and at the most, I let you capitalize with me, not off me.
Yeah,
really. She owns it. It's badass.
Well, that's like George Lucas had the foresight.
True.
Because people didn't truly believe in it. And I'm sure it was probably the same thing with that. They didn't truly believe necessarily that it was going to be as successful. George Lucas owned the merchandise rights, the toy rights. He owned the rights to the movie. They just bought the distribution rights. And that's why George Lucas owned Star Wars. All they bought was the distribution rights. He owned everything
my ass
else.
He owned. So, with all this consideration, I want to give a little piece on what Netflix is, because I think it highlights the severe consideration we need to take on, the gravity of this situation, and how we may actually be creating an entertainment Death Star. You ever stop and think about who's really behind the shows, the movies, the influencers you binge watch late at night? Yeah, I'm talking about the family that owns Netflix, the Hastings family. Reed Hastings, the co-founder, is the guy who put streaming on the map. But this isn't just about him making it easier to watch The Office in your pajamas. No, this is about shaping what millions of people see, what they think, and even what they don't see. Think about it. Every recommendation you get, every trending show, every Netflix original, it's curated, controlled, and designed to keep you glued to a screen, to keep your eyeballs in front of their content. And make no mistake, when you control the narrative on a platform that reaches hundreds of millions globally, you're not just entertaining, you're subtly influencing culture, politics, ideas, even values. Now, calling them the fathers of propaganda might sound dramatic, but if propaganda is just the art of shaping public perception, then yeah, they're practically the godfathers. And that's not even hidden. Netflix has invested heavily in content and that subtly nudges opinions, frames stories in ways that matter to them, and packages it as entertainment. The average viewer thinks they're just choosing a fun show, but behind the scenes, someone decided what you should be watching and maybe, just maybe, how you should be thinking. So next time you're scrolling, asking yourself, what should I watch tonight? Remember, it's not just a question of taste, it's a question of influence. The thing that I want to encourage more than anything, consider the Hastings family. Do yourself a favor. Look into their fathers. They're the fathers of propaganda for a reason. This starts in a country we cannot name because it highlights the considerations that would get us in trouble, because they truly do own the world around us and they truly are the pioneers of propaganda. So I say the name to plant the seed for your research. Know the Hastings family and know the people behind the conglomerate that now is going to shape and create the reality around you and how you view it. Any other considerations before I really dive into antitrust? Anything else, Doug? No?
Not
Ricky?
particularly.
No? All right. So last piece of consideration before we get into our wrapping thoughts and everything else, I want to talk about antitrust and how it applies to this case. So let's zoom out and talk about antitrust, the big, intimidating word that basically means, hey, don't let one company become the Death Star. Antitrust laws exist so that one single corporation can't get so massive and so intertwined with every part of the industry that consumers stop having real choices. It's like the government saying, you could be rich, you could be powerful, but you can't own the entire sandbox. Now, enter the story of the decade. Netflix potentially buying Warner Brothers Studios. On paper, it's just another acquisition. Hollywood trades companies like Pokemon cards at this point, but antitrust regulators don't just look at the sale. They look at the market concentration. And in entertainment, especially streaming, we're already in a world where just a handful of companies run the game. Disney, Comcast, Amazon, Netflix, and Warner Brothers. That's basically it. Everyone else is a satellite. So the question regulators have to ask is, if Netflix swallows Warner Brothers, does Netflix suddenly have too much control? Think about it. They'd own one of the oldest studios on earth, gigantic franchises, decades of IP, and a whole pipeline of creators. They'd control both the library and the distribution. That's like buying the restaurant, the grocery store, and the farm. You get to decide what gets made, who sees it, and who gets shut out. That's the kind of power antitrust laws were designed to prevent. And Paramount, they're the wild card. They're the studio rumored to be looking for a buyer themselves. So regulators ask, if Netflix gets Warner Brothers, does that trigger a domino effect where every studio has to be bought by one of the tech giants just to survive? Suddenly, Amazon owns Paramount, Apple grabs Sony, and Hollywood becomes the world's most expensive episode of musical chairs. So, this case matters because it's not just about one merger. It's about whether we're okay with the entire entertainment landscape condensing into 3 or 4 mega companies that control what stories get told, who gets to tell them, what gets promoted, and what disappears. Antitrust is basically the referee yelling, hold on, time out. Are you competing or are you just absorbing the competition? And depending on how they rule on here, this could either be remembered as a harmless reshuffling of Hollywood deck or a moment one company got way too close to owning the entire table. So this is bigger than just kind of like Harry Potter is going to be gay. I may not like Netflix and their approach to things. This is more severe than that because it is ironic when Doug points out and highlights these are the DVD guys that were just mailing DVDs and now they're going to own everything. It is an interesting consideration. You know, they talked about I talked about when I introduced the first monologue, bringing in how this is just waiting to be poached by boardrooms and on Wall Street. Like this is prime for the picking, like Blockbuster was, where they find a tanking company and just dump all the debt onto it so they can sink it into oblivion with calling for bankruptcy. That's a trick companies like to do. They find these failing companies, they absorb them, and then they have that company buy all the debt of all their other companies, and then they just sink it. And that's what Blockbuster did. That's what happened. First off, I think Blockbuster spread themselves too thin and were too slow to get into the shifting market, go into streaming and everything else. And because of that, they were primed for the picking, and money talks. So when investors come in and they go, we'll buy your shit right up, sells it up. But it's crazy to think Blockbuster had the edge on all of this, and Netflix came from nowhere and just took it over.
And that's like the thing, like when you mentioned, like Netflix really has just been one giant domino effect leading up to this point.
Yeah.
Considering like what their conception was to like where they're at now. And then you look at like Blockbuster, like whenever I think of like I agree with you. I think Blockbuster spread themselves too thin. I just think of like the South Park episode when he buys a Blockbuster and she's just like on the phone, like on Halloween. She's like, oh, what are you guys doing? She's like, oh, you're going to watch Halloween? Oh, how are you going to watch it? Oh, on Netflix. And it's like, that's literally a joke in the show. And it's like, now we're to this point. And it's like, to me, it's like, do I think Netflix is going to buy them? Yeah. I just think it's been one giant domino effect leading up to here. Unfortunately, I just think it's an inevitability at this point.
No, it is. Unless the government steps in and does something. The scary part is they're invested in looking the other way.
I saw an article about God, I forget what giant company it was. Maybe it was Warner Bros. Or Paramount. They contacted like the administration like days before to try and like
Paramount was like, please, please, and then Netflix is like, we're just gonna go higher.
Yeah, we're just gonna go.
You can't keep up with this.
Yeah, it's like we all know where it's going,
which is crazy because then that is a strong conversation about government intervention. It's like if Netflix works hard enough to be able to keep moving the ceiling up, is it their fault? They competed in a capitalist society and they won. They're winning the game of Monopoly, and soon they'll own the whole board. Is that their fault?
Yeah, I don't see how the regulators could just come in and stop it.
I agree. Doug, what's up?
So we talked about how Amazon came from package delivery, DVD delivery. Well, Amazon came from an online bookstore and became what it is today. Well, a couple of years ago, Amazon bought MGM. That was a big thing at the time that this streaming service bought a studio because MGM was the only studio that didn't have a streaming service. And they were the only ones that didn't have a streaming service. All of them were connected to a streaming service pretty much,
Jeff Bezos is like, I'm going to turn it into a sports betting app.
But I don't remember anyone at the time talking about Amazon buying MGM as a bad thing because MGM was smaller. They didn't already have a streaming footprint. I do think that was kind of different, but that's really what expanded Amazon's streaming footprint was buying a studio already established, And so it's like Netflix, which had been going off of either streaming rights or original content. They've never had a whole studio that they've owned. So I kind of look at it as kind of the same thing, But this is getting a lot more attention than the Amazon MGM.
Yeah, but you know what?
ever
At
did.
least Amazon, this is them breaching the entertainment industry. They're in shipping, they're in
But
merchandise.
they had
but-
Amazon Prime
Okay, fair
Sure,
point.
yeah,
This
sure.
expanded Amazon Prime.
to a studio.
But I want to make the claim that the only thing that would take me to watch things on Amazon Prime is when they would isolate like that one finicky movie that used to be here on Netflix, over there on Hulu, and now it's like,
You
oh,
can
I want
rent
to
it.
watch that movie. I can only watch it on Amazon. They got the rights like 3 years after everybody else is passing around like your high school girlfriend. Okay, well then that's how they lock it in.
I want to watch Employee of the Month, and it's not on anything.
Exactly.
You
So
know,
it's like,
yeah.
shit, that's how you got me. Other than that, the only thing that took me to their platform were Amazon originals, which I can name maybe 3.
the
Yeah.
boys.
The boys.
And
Fallout.
V, what is it? Gen V,
Gen
which
V.
is the same show as The Boys.
Also, they own the rights to Stargate, and Stargate is one of my favorites.
Doug, you're alone in that one.
But I mean, like, it's something like that's a
Right.
big thing there.
So
but
I
it's
could
like,
see, like, here's the thing.
Netflix is so
It-
grandiose,
But it
I
also
love it.
feels like the MGM purchase was them getting into the entertainment industry because Amazon was so overlooked and irrelevant even at that time that it was like, it wasn't even expanding their library as much as like, oh, hey, you got a library now.
Yeah, essentially now.
Hey, look at you.
Now this is basically the one with already a library going. We're buying the biggest library.
Yeah.
We're
It's
getting the
real.
largest
It's
one.
literally like the Library of Alexandria going, we own all the libraries now. It's like you have all the world secrets nobody knows about too, buried underground. They're like, yeah, now we own your local
One-
Cleveland library too.
One day, some peasant was walking to the merchants and looked by and saw like a for sale sign in front of
What?
the library for Alexandria, and he was like, "What's going on here?"
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
true.
Like that's kind of what it was.
So, in conclusion, and first, let's acknowledge we got Brad Richardson. We're happy to have you, and Straight Bombs is in here too. The old TV model will not exist as soon as all the contracts finally run out.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Cable's
But also,
dying.
do we want cable? We don't. Because they were playing their own stupid Monopoly games.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? You suffocate me enough in the Sunday NFL ticket where it's like, now I don't want anything to do with cable.
You could ironically get cable through these streaming services now.
YouTube TV does more for me with football than when I paid $250 for the year to have Sunday NFL ticket.
It was the worst.
That was
one of my worst financial decisions I've ever made.
no, that makes me want to storm a Capitol.
Okay,
That's a messed up. That is a crime against society.
I agree.
$250 and still sometimes you'd be like, I can't give you that one. Whoa, wait, what?
Yeah, sometimes they're like, well, this one's specifically blacked out.
Yeah, I'm in Pennsylvania. Well, I need the Sunday NFL ticket because the cable doesn't give me the Browns. Go to click the Browns.
Dude, that's like when
I think
I
you want
was
the Steelers.
when I was
I
in-
don't.
Dude, that's like when I was in Seattle, signed up for the Sunday NFL ticket, and then it told me all I could do was listen to the Browns
Yeah.
games. And I was like, cancel.
Where's the
I
Molotov?
immediately hit cancel because I signed up for the 7-day free trial and immediately hit cancel. The moment it said audio only, I was like, cancel.
Yep.
Somebody,
You still paid your $250 already, but
somebody,
good.
somebody
No.
at Netflix had that happen to them, and they're like, "Son of a bitch, we're buying Warner Brothers."
yeah. Let's get to our rapping thoughts here. First, let me ask you, what are your rapping thoughts, Will?
Honestly, I really liked our idea for the Harry Potter show. So, I mean, if like that comes out of this, like
That is a win.
it's a win in some way. I don't know how good of a win it's gonna feel. It's gonna feel like
it's the spoonful of sugar that helps the medicine go down.
right. Yeah, like that's if you're gonna give me that, give me that. But it's an inevitability. I don't see how they stop this. It's like you said, like Paramount called the administration, and then Netflix immediately was just like, "Oh, you wanted more money?" You know, like
and I love the comment in the presentations earlier where it's like, We're talking about an industry that has billions of dollars to set on fire.
Right. It's like Warner Bros. Has nothing being advertised right now, and we're advertising the 5th season of Stranger Things, and it's the biggest thing advertised right now. Well, we're buying it. We're upping the price. Sorry. Oh, was it? They honestly, funny enough, it sounds like Netflix lowballed them, and they still were the highest bid, and they were like, "We can go higher.
Right.
I don't care.
100%.
We're gonna own it."
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm going to bring in Ricky here. Ricky, what are your wrapping thoughts on the whole thing?
Don't fuck it up. Like, I don't care. I know y'all. I know how y'all are about a trust and the law, man. All I'm saying is don't fuck it up, man.
So
Like,
what would fucking it up look like?
horrible writers taking forever to give me movies and
Price
shows.
increase. Price
Big
increase.
one for me. Yes.
But price increase is gonna come. I expect
It's
that.
inevitable.
I know it's gonna come, but if it's a
Yeah.
lot, they ruin it for everybody.
Facts. And if y'all gonna do that, if they gonna give me price increase, I need y'all to have them in the sweat
Combined.
factory.
So Ricky, I got to ask you, if the inquiry is the declaration, don't fuck it up. I go, what does it mean to fuck it up? And you go, bad writing, takes too long to get shit out, expensive, and it just keeps getting more expensive. 15 devices on a family plan. What the fuck? We're already there, big
Yeah,
guy.
I was like, we've been there.
We've been in that world. So is there fucking it up, or is it just maintaining the status quo?
Well, it's like if you
I don't
stream
bigger.
it better, like that would be a plus. But like, I mean, I already know what we're getting, so
Yeah,
like, I don't.
but
see it.
so Ricky, what do you think of that?
I don't even use Netflix, honestly.
Bingo!
like
That's my
special,
biggest point.
hey,
We're
you-
screwed because
it
a
gotta be
room full of
something
people that don't
special.
use this are going to be stuck
to be
using it.
something-
I still pay for it because Sunday football on Christmas, baby.
Sorry, Ricky, what was that?
What?
It has to be something special for me to be on Netflix. Like Doug just said, Sunday's football or something. Like
Christmas football.
it's not,
We get it, Doug.
yeah. Like Nalette watch Netflix like nonstop, no matter what. Stranger Things came back, she on it. Me, ain't nothing for me. Literally, right now, I'm on Paramount every night. The only show I end with is NCIS, and I'm at season 3.
Really?
Dude,
Original.
I'm
Yes.
watching NCIS on Netflix too, Ricky. What sucks
Not
is it's
Netflix,
1 through
Paramount.
6,
Brad
and
Richardson.
Then you have to go to I watched Hulu 7 through 11, and then went back to Netflix for 12 on because Netflix has no commercials and Hulu had commercials, and that made me mad.
Well, I'm on Paramount, and there's no commercial on Paramount.
Oh, you paid for the no commercials? Smart man.
Dang, girl.
But Nalette is literally, we pay like, I'm gonna keep that.
I pay like $20 a month for Netflix.
It's
man.
crazy
It's
what we're paying
expensive.
for it, brother.
All right,
Because
let me
you know
just say,
what's
she has
funny?
Hulu Live TV.
Yeah, you know what? One little point I do want to make because of how absurd the financial element of this has gotten. If you look at the internet providers, their whole shtick was we're
Bundle
charging a
those
little.
premium.
Thanks, Doug. The part of the shtick was, well, we're also going to give you cable if we bundle it all together. Yeah. So first it started off with internet didn't exist. Dad was getting cable. And then they're like, let us bundle this with
telephone.
internet. It's going to get a little bit
Telephone,
more, but
too.
it's okay. And then internet became more important. You needed it faster. You get rid of this dial-up shit. And it's like,
yeah, your landline's gone.
but we still want to give you the daytime news. So, and you don't want it as much as you want the internet. You want Yahoo Mail. So we're going to bundle it together, still jacking it up. And my dad's like, I need faster. And get with the age. It's 1990. We need the internet. And so the price keeps increasing. They keep buying because really the focus is the internet and we're getting cable with it. And don't forget, shit, at that time, this didn't exist and we weren't paying AT&T. I had a landline all in one big old kit and caboodle shoved right to you. And then that became less important and the cable became less important, but the internet just increased in its value. Price steadily up. Now it's, we just eliminated cable. You're paying AT&T over there for your phone, but we're still charging you more for that internet. There's no bundle. It's all in the internet. And so I got to go over here and pay Xfinity my full rectum. And then I got to go back to Netflix and give them whatever's remaining for everything. Here's the real question. Does the sleeping retard we call the government wake up when they finally go to buy the internet providers?
No.
No.
No. They're gonna.
Dude, once they buy the internet provider, they are legit full circle then.
That's what I mean.
Full
Literally.
circle. That would have to be the point someone goes, no.
Here's what's crazy.
I would hope at least.
The
Oh, at that
analogy
point, no one
used
said
earlier, I still stand by it. Right now, they're buying the restaurant, the food chain, the food supply, and the farmers. The day which will come, quote this, mark this, in the future, Rethink Tank still
December
reporting to you,
9th,
we will
8/21.
definitely re-pull this clip because soon they're going to be like, can we buy Monsanto seeds too? We're going to buy the seeds.
We're gonna get that corn.
So
also.
they'll own the restaurant, the distribution chain, the farmers, and then they'll even own the seed from its inception. And we'll just be like, oh, here, Daddy, I need to catch Love on the Spectrum this week.
Oh, well, you can't miss it. You can't miss what they're up to.
Ah,
could you
those
miss it?
kooky characters.
It's so weird.
Is he going to get a girlfriend this time?
Or is he gonna be a little awkward?
You know, I cannot afford food today, and they're
What,
poisoning
Stranger
the
Things
water.
season
But
5
Stranger
came out?
Things is back before Grand Theft Auto 6.
Doug, can I ask a question though? You said you have Netflix. Do you really have it all year? Do you pay for it all year just for the Sunday NFL Christmas?
Well, like I've had it since college the longest time I got like grandfathered into the lowest price and the ad-free shit, and then I just never bothered to
He was a
cancel it.
legacy.
Well, yeah, but I'm still paying less than like what it is to get a new ad-free subscription because I've had it for so long. They tell me that it's like I get a legacy price, but also like my dad loves the Netflix, and so that's kind of the
Netflix.
main reason I've
Remove
kept
the
it going.
It sounds
Is because
better.
like my dad's cable, you know, they bundle their phone, internet, and cable. Like Alex said, my parents still have a landline because they bundle it all together. They get like HBO, Stars, and Showtime for free. So I was like, well, Dad, I'm using your HBO for Game of Thrones, and you're using the Netflix for this. It sounds like a fair exchange. So I've just kept it. But like every time I think about getting rid of it, something I see on there or some new series, like Alex said, like the Diddy shit, for example, some documentary like that draws me in. You know, it's like I was thinking about getting rid of it. Then I found the Octopus Murders on there, and I was like, that shit sucked me back in. So there's always something that draws me back in other than that. But my dad loves the Netflix, so I kind of keep it because he uses it.
What were you going to say?
Yeah, no, just remove the. It sounds better.
Yeah. All right, closing it out here. This whole Netflix Warner Brothers situation feels like a headline and even more like a symptom. A symptom of an entertainment industry so consolidated, so corporatized, so obsessed with control that the idea of independent creative voices is becoming an endangered species. Because here's the truth. Nobody in Hollywood likes saying it out loud. When one company owns the platform, the pipeline, the IP, the distribution, and the narrative, that's not entertainment. That's cultural engineering. And if Netflix gets Warner Brothers, that becomes the norm. Storytelling decisions won't be made by artists. They'll be made by spreadsheets, algorithms, and executives who haven't seen a real movie since 2008, but can tell you the demographic breakdown of a thumbnail. This isn't about whether Netflix is good or bad. This is about whether our culture gets to stay diverse, chaotic, expressive, risky, human, or whatever. Everything gets run through one corporate filter until it all tastes the same. So yeah, maybe Warner Brothers changes hands, maybe it doesn't. But the bigger question is this. If the same tiny group of companies controls all the stories, what does that do to us? What does that do to creativity? What does that do to culture? Maybe the real plot twist we need isn't who buys who, but whether we still have the guts to demand real art in a world addicted to corporate content.
Can I have a wrapping thought to that, real quick?
Please.
Dude, do you realize how much AI content is going to be made from this? How many AI stories, AI,
Can I tell you what's
AI
really breaking us?
actors.
Yeah.
that's what I mean. Like, that's what I mean. As you were reading that, I hadn't considered it when our whole discussion up until then. I was like, wait a minute. They're going to utilize AI so much for these originals now.
No,
It's a fear.
You're
I don't know
100%
for
right.
a fact, but like, why wouldn't they? Like,
Especially at this point.
We're spending all this money. We need
And
to,
I own Batman.
we have to have a quota of content we put
How
out
about
a
this?
year.
I own the IP rights of Val Kilmer dressed as Batman.
Yeah.
I own that. Sit in that.
Yeah.
He's passed.
No, he's still around. He's still
Oh,
kicking.
yeah, he's still
He
alive.
just,
Well,
he
okay.
just played Batman like a year or two ago. Funny enough.
Well, yeah.
He's sick, but like he's
Well,
still
okay.
alive.
He's
I only said Val Kilmer
I'm thinking
is in. I don't even think he's
Wait,
alive.
no, wait.
No,
he
he's
may
dead.
have died
He's dead.
Y'all
after.
are dumb.
He
I'm
may
thinking
have
of Michael
died after
Keaton.
Top
I'm
Gun
thinking of a
2.
different Batman. I'm
After
thinking of
Top
the-
Gun
Yes.
2, he
I'm
may
thinking
have
of the
died.
other-
No, actor Val Kilmer is
Died
not
April
alive.
1 of this year.
He
Yes.
passed away. I was
Yeah.
thinking of Michael Keaton.
Okay.
Well, because
Yeah.
Top Gun was a big appearance for him. That was
So
after
again,
all that.
doubling down, there is a guy who no longer is alive. You own the rights to him in a Batman costume.
Oh, they've already done that before. Like, look at Star Wars. They brought back dead characters before. Like Carrie Fisher was in the last Star Wars.
No,
movie.
Or that guy, the general.
Governor Mock Tarkin.
Yeah.
They used a CGI of his face, and there's currently a lawsuit. His family,
They're
his
gonna
estate
lose.
No,
is
they've
suing
already
them on that.
lost.
No,
Wonder-
they're gonna win.
Netflix just bought him.
No, dude, they're gonna win because that actor never agreed to have his likeness used after this was well before AI, internet, all that. There's no way there's any agreement anywhere that said they could use him after he died. That's why I think they're going to win. These current actors, they're in the age of this digital stuff where they're being scanned. I think that's harder, but he was way back in the day before.
And
any
they
of that.
own the full rights to him in a Batman costume. That's what's crazy. Is I don't need to scan you. I just got to scan my footage, and I got tons of it.
Yeah, it's
Raw
like
footage.
James Earl Jones, like I think before he passed, like had him like read like lines of dialogue or like read like somebody like made a joke. He might have actually done this, like read every word in the dictionary. So
He
like
did. No, they did have him read a bunch of stuff so that if they ever needed to,
They could
or
use
like
his
when they
voice.
sold those toys as we were a kid, where you dress as Darth Vader and push a button. That was all stuff they had him record.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to a crazy dystopia.
I'm
Before
sure
we
he
get
did that though for like his legacy thing though.
Oh,
Like,
for sure.
like, the
And
iconic
to
voice, you
just
know, like-
enhance the value of your estate, just
exactly.
to pass on
That-
money
that I'm
to
sure was a little
the
bit
people
different, but it is similar in the same vein.
totally. A couple things that I want to address before we get into our second topic. Brad Richardson, jump into the comments. Cheers to a friend. First, thoughts on Philip Rivers becoming a Colts quarterback.
Hilarious.
Cannot wait, dude. This is what it's all about.
Exactly. So get excited. Of course, we want to totally peel back the hood on this one. But you got to go to our reactions channel, Rethink Actions. We do a live Sunday football review every Sunday, and we're going to be there noon, as always. Will's going to be drinking an ice for your entertainment. Not me and Doug. We did our favor. We're out here trying to make you money, at least trying. But you got to join us for the Rethink Actions because the episode title this week is all about Philip Rivers. Could not be more excited. Will nailed it leading into today's episode. Big Bro went from he literally closed his season off as Unk, and he's re-entering the chat as Gramps. It's wild. So you got to join us on Sunday to get the full dialogue around Philip Rivers taking over the league. But one of the other things I did want to touch base on, because it was so crazy. Brad Richardson asking thoughts on the removal of the penny. We did open the episode with updates, and so this is a great topic to touch upon because just recently in the past couple episodes, we did do a discussion on the final penny being minted. There is a guy currently opening a lawsuit against Home Depot.
Okay.
He goes to buy something that is $49.01.
Okay.
They gave him 95 cents back. And he goes, whoa. You don't get those 4 cents. I get those 4 cents. If anything, you round down and you, Home Depot, lose the penny. If you don't have pennies to give me, you don't get to. So we are there. We
That didn't
flirted
take
with
long.
this. It didn't take
It was coming.
not at all.
I could give you 4 pennies out of my cup holder right now, man.
Well, it's crazy you say that. Something I try to stray away from totally flushing out on the show is what I do during the day, my Clark Kent career. And as a clerk of court, running and managing a court, it's crazy. I'm in a clerk chat of all the other clerks across the state who manage their courts. And they're all scrambling. It's crazy. Really? Well, there's this one lady who's retiring who has been like the heart of all the clerks in Ohio. She's managed and organized the conferences for all the clerks. Mm-hmm. She is the tip of the spear, and she's retiring. She's totally, exhausted a full career, done an incredible job, and she's at the end of the road. The mice were scrambling. What do I do? I got to go to my cup holder. I ran home. I go to the bank. They don't have any pennies for me. What do I? And the person, I'm saying her name, she's just like, round down, move on. And that's going to have to be something we instill in our court moving forward too. It hasn't hit us yet, but it'll hit us soon.
Wait, Alex, what's funny is I literally said that on our show. I was like, they should round down. And we all agreed there's no way the businesses are going to round down. If anything, they're going to round up.
That
they should.
Well, it's just funny that the instinct of your local government, which is the only piece that I still have mild faith in, they go, well, no shit, you just round down. We're the losers, not the public. Home Depot, fuck you.
Oh, yeah.
Those are my 4 cents now.
Yeah.
And you know what? Kudos to that guy. Yeah. Because it shouldn't come down to majority minority. If it was $49.04, we round up. If it's $49.02, we round down. No, the benefit should always go to the consumer, period. That's my position on this.
Wait, Alex. So I agree with that. But here's where it comes in, where maybe, so some places are charging credit card fees. So if they had a fee to use a credit card, they'd bite the cost of those.
Right. Bingo, Doug. Great point.
So if they probably, their argument, but this is if Home Depot has a credit card charge, they might go, well, we're already giving you a discount to pay in cash.
No, my argument is using the point you raised against them. The instinct of the market has been you absorb the cost. Yeah. It's never been that the consumer absorbs the cost. You can't say, well, if you use this charge over here, you get the benefit, and because we give them the benefit, you got to take the brunt over here. No. Totally different lane of commerce. The benefit should always go to the consumer. Let's take it a step further, because Brad Richardson just wants to really hold the mirror up to us and prove that life is hell. Currency is going to be completely removed in a few years. That's a disgusting truth, and we should be totally petrified that we're going to go to a social credit score system. We're going to live in a world where all of currency is digitized. We will live in a George Orwellian world where cameras are micromanaging every movement, and you think one bad iota about God's chosen people, and your money's turned the fuck off.
All because there were all those ice raids at Home Depot. They just got tired.
I don't know if I see the nexus there. I was
just on the Home Depot thing. I was like, I'm sure that's why they were just pissed. They're like, no, we're keeping those.
But it is scary. It's scary that Brad Richardson, you're totally right. We're silly to be talking about currency that's going to be extinct in a decade.
Do you think it's going to be extinct, or do you think they're going to be like, we're bringing it back?
Dude, truthfully, it's crazy. Like today, I'm struggling to figure out what topics we'll pick, right? Like clearly Netflix, but the other ones, let's keep it fresh, but still engaging.
Outside of the Netflix, it feels like a dull week. So yeah,
a topic that I keep meaning to bring on, and clearly this is my understanding. I have a call to it. We need to address it. Have you seen the videos of people starving in China?
No,
dude, it's crazy. Because I do foresee, like, they're ahead of us. They're ahead of us in this human evolution because they live in a dictated market. Ours is a free market. They could just say, hey, we're doing this thing tomorrow. And these people can't argue against it. They're stuck. So what's going on in China? They started a social credit score system where everywhere you go, getting on the transportation, going into the store, going to buy something, just crossing the street, literally going from one street to another. They have these terminals that scan your face, and are you good with the government? Beep, green, you go on through. Did you talk about God's chosen people? Bah, you don't get to go on the bus today. And there are folks, so like I said, they're ahead of us because they get to dictate. They said, we're doing this. Well, what we'll experience when we get to that point is a faction of the people who are like, well, I'm never doing that. I'm not subscribing to this, and I'm not going to be a part of your social credit score system. As a result, they have been entirely cut out of society. These are functioning members that have been totally severed because they won't get in line and be a part of this system. So they can't ride the transportation. They can't use interstate commerce and spend money, buy food.
And they even get
They're-
jobs.
No, period. So there is a large, because they're 3 times larger than us, there is a significant portion of millions of Chinese people across the country that are refusing to subscribe to this system, that are just homeless, living on the streets, starving. And dude, the videos of them will make you cry.
Better dead than red.
That was their choice. And you know what? I stand by it. They are making the honorable decision. And it is the hardest decision. Yeah. And the sad part is, enough of the lemmings, enough of the sheeple have been shepherded into this system that it doesn't matter. Your efforts are futile, and the machine will keep moving.
Meanwhile, Hassan Piker goes there and then comes.
I
back
love
and
it here.
It's just like it's the best place ever. Have you been there?
I'll let them scan my face. I get to own 6 people. They promised me.
Every time they scan my face, it's 6 more.
You get 6 people. I have a fleet at this point.
I have a squadron of Hassans.
And they all tie down Kiona. What's her name?
Kiva.
No, it isn't.
I thought it was.
It. Hold on. Now we need it. What's Hassan's dog's name? Kaya.
Justice for Kaya.
Now it's 6 Chinese men just holding her down like, Kaya, stop.
They're all in the background of his stream. They have collars on them too.
It's like what's that Jack Black movie and classic book, like Gunther's Travels or something?
I know what movie you're talking about.
Where he's a...
Oh God, what is it called? That's an old one. That was before he became that guy. Gulliver's Travel.
Gulliver's. See, I'm pretty damn good. I was close.
It
it's literally going to be like Gulliver's Travels, where a bunch of little ants are tying down this giant guy. This is just 12 Chinese guys holding down Kaya, like, stop, Hassan's trying to stream.
They all have collars on them too.
Oh yeah. Down. Well, that was a great break before we could get into our actual topic of the day. Thanks, Brad Richardson. The Rethink Tank loves you for that. Let's talk about this move by the prison state of Australia, because they just did something huge, and it's surprisingly worth our consideration. They passed legislation saying anyone under the age of 16 is banned from using social media. Full stop. No TikTok, no Instagram, no Snapchat, no endless scrolling, no carefully engineered digital slot machine disguised as a For You page. And look, at first glance, you might think, wow, that's extreme. That's government overreach. But that's Big Kangaroo coming for your freedom. No, just take a beat and actually ask yourself, is this really a bad idea? Because here's the thing. We've been warned, not by conspiracy theorists, not by pearl-clutching parents, but by people who literally built these platforms. Must I remind you, please remember the social dilemma. The documentary where the engineers and designers, Silicon Valley insiders, straight up said, yeah, we know what we're doing. We built this stuff to hijack your brain chemistry like digital crack. That's a quote from the doc. They admitted that the point wasn't connection or creativity or community. It was addiction, pure and simple. Attention extraction, dopamine manipulation. They might as well have said, we designed a slot machine and handed it to children as a toy. And the craziest part, the creators won't even let their own kids use these apps. They've designed the digital drug, but they don't let it into their own house. That's not a yellow flag. That's a glowing red siren blasting lighthouse. So here comes Australia saying, nope, not happening. Kids are losing sleep, losing self-esteem, losing developmental milestones. So we're cutting the cord. And honestly, it's hard to argue the logic. We don't hesitate to regulate things that hurt kids. We regulate food. We regulate medicine. We regulate what they can drink, what they can smoke, what they can climb, jump off of, or stick a fork into. We create safety rules for playgrounds, trampolines, even fidget toys. But when it comes to the supercomputer in their pocket that tracks them, manipulates them, rewires their brains, and has addictive power of a casino, suddenly we clutch our pearls and say, well, that's for freedom. I mean, come on. At what point do we admit this isn't harmless entertainment anymore? Kids aren't bored. They're chemically overstimulated. Kids don't play outside. They're doom scrolling until 1 a.m. Kids don't scrape their knees. They're too busy getting sucked into algorithmic whirlpools that make them feel anxious, lonely, and not good enough. So would something like this work in America? Probably not tomorrow. We're freedom obsessed, litigation happy, and half the country would claim banning TikTok is the beginning of a digital dictatorship. But you can't deny the science. You can't deny the data. And you can't deny that we're raising a generation of kids who are overstimulated, underdeveloped, and glued to screens like moths to a dopamine flame. So maybe the real question isn't, is Australia going too far? Maybe it's, is America not going far enough? Maybe forcing parents to actually parent, forcing kids to be bored, to climb trees, to argue face to face, to get dirty, scrape their knees, and figure out what to do with their hands when a screen isn't there. Maybe that's not oppression. Maybe that's salvation. Because if Silicon Valley won't let their kids touch this stuff, why are we handing it to 10-year-olds with unlimited data and zero supervision? Sometimes protecting freedom means protecting people from the things that control them. And right now, social media is controlling kids way more than kids are controlling social media. Doug, what are your thoughts before we get into our clip here?
So, dude, I've actually got two thoughts on this. One is, so social media and kids, yeah, it's worse because it's smartphones everywhere. And you know what the problem, in my opinion, is? Okay, like when we were young, the conversation was, when do you get a phone? But back then, the worst thing you had to worry about was having a phone with a camera. You know, now that was a whole different.
It was a good thing for some of those boys.
At the time, that was a big debate. Should parents give their kids a phone with a camera? But they were dumb phones. You could only call and text and take a picture. That was it. Now, you can't even buy dumb flip phones anymore. We are past that. They are officially dead. And so it's even harder, honestly, to give your kid a way to connect with you in an emergency, but keep them off of that stuff because of that. It's all smartphones now. And so I do think that plays a role into the way everything is now. Is back in the day, we had our first phones. I had a Razor flip phone. And I didn't even have texting. I could only call. And even then, it was limited minutes on that thing. So I could call my parents in an emergency. But I also remember when we were in school, YouTube was new. Then they banned it. And then they unbanned it in schools because they realize it's an educational tool along as a social
Well, and a
media.
safety tool.
So
You got
I
to be able to
wonder
get in
if
touch with your
YouTube-
parents.
Well, that's my other thought. I wonder if YouTube is banned under this social media rule because it can also be very educational. There are educational videos out there. Teachers play YouTube videos for educational purposes. So I do wonder if YouTube is considered a social media, because if it is, that brings a whole nother layer of debate in, because even schools don't block that. And so if schools don't usually block that, are Australian schools going to have to block that
Wow.
now?
Yes. Australia has a new law effective December 10th banning social media platforms, and YouTube is a part of that.
So that's
Wait. No, they don't. Though kids can still watch YouTube unlogged, and YouTube Kids remains unaffected. So you can access YouTube Kids and then YouTube regularly.
Without
They'd
having
be
an
able to
account.
access it if they're not logged in.
Okay. Because that's
So that
like,
well, but also, Doug, it's different for a teacher. That teacher would have legal access as an adult.
oh, absolutely.
and
but
then
what
they
if
play
a
it for their
kid wants to,
classroom.
like, dude, when I took computer classes in high school, even then, YouTube had videos on how to do this or that in Excel. And now, for my job, sometimes I don't know something, I Google it. YouTube has educational videos on there, though.
I
that is for
appreciate
sure.
you diving in at the beginning here, Doug, because that is a strong consideration that should be a through line through this, because admittedly, the social dilemma, as I cite at the beginning of this topic, that is solely Instagram, Facebook, and what they own, WhatsApp,
Yep.
and everything else. Facebook is like top tier social media evil. TikTok, it's getting there. It's not that different of a platform as far as, especially now when God chose them and he was like, go buy TikTok. And those chosen people are like, God wants us to own it all. We're coming to own TikTok. Now that they own it, it's like, not the same. Every time I swipe that, I'm reminded, not the same. Snapchat, it's crazy what these kids are doing on Snapchat from the inception. It's like, whoa.
A little too much.
We
access.
thought
A little too much access.
And what's funny is they think, well, it's just going to Bobby and it disappears after 10 seconds.
Don't.
That is in a file in Snapchat headquarters, and there's a guy loving them. That's actually why he started the company.
It's a Ponzi scheme. It's
been-
one giant Ponzi scheme.
Turns out, also last name Maxwell. One of the things I did want to touch base on is Brad Richardson dropped a comment. At this point, they don't even really need schools because every kid has a device. Why pay for a school when in the snowy locations, there's only, you could just do it from your locale.
Mm-hmm.
Not trying to go all Candace Owens on everybody here, but when you start peeling back how the Maxwell daddy wrote all of our literature books, it's like, yeah, I don't need to get that education. You start seeing, the more you pull back the veil, the more you're like, just throw it all away. And I recognize why there is such a strong effort by local people to homeschool. What was one thing we totally prided ourselves at Brecksville, the community, till they say it?
Blue ribbon school.
We are we don't even know what that is.
No, couldn't even tell you.
Nope.
But damn it,
But
it was blue.
But it's
and it was a
literally
ribbon.
a story tall printed on the side of the building. The president gave this to us 25 years ago. We are a blue ribbon.
Like, yeah, before
Nothing.
we were
It's
even
only digressed
We
and
had to-
gotten worse
we
from
had
there.
to kiss it too.
GBED, guys, get better every day. Woo.
I knew you'd
We're
like that
blue
one.
ribbon.
I knew you'd like that one.
How's it going?
Thank you.
So it's curious that I'm going through Brecksville in the Know community page, and there's parents debating like,
Oh, I've seen.
I've
it too,
homeschooled my kid and I want to know if anything changed. Should I put them back in the school? And everybody's like, no, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the same blue ribbon school everybody was kissing the wall for? Everybody wants to pull it out and homeschool? The world's awakening. And so I love Brad Richardson's point because he's more like logistics. This is what makes sense. You've got access to it at your home. You've got access to cleaner, less regurgitated and agenda-driven education. You can have your finger on the pulse and have an idea of what your kid's being taught and the manner at which it's being taught. That's the future. The scary part is that was a more accessible lifestyle in my youth when a single parent could create a familial wealth that allowed for the other parent to stay home.
Right.
That's the necessity right now. And yet the economy has made it the least practical lifestyle.
It's literally a daycare at this point.
Yeah.
It's literally a daycare.
Parents, nail that. I just want to see. So you nailed it. Teachers can't parent these students. They'll run to their parents and I'm stuck with these monsters and I can't even correct their behavior or guide them appropriately. They miss all their homework and it instantly becomes racist. It's like, no, they actually just failed.
Math is math.
Yeah, no, math is racist. Declared by the state, mind you. That's what they think of you. That's not my words.
I forgot.
Theirs. And you're like, you know what? I need to vote for them again. They seem to have my interest at heart.
When it comes to the Australians, I'm all in favor of making kids go back outside and poke stuff with sticks.
Thank you. That's where this starts and ends.
Yeah, go outside. Go outside and sit on that generator you're not really sure if you should sit on or not. Build some character, damn it. You know what I mean? Like, bring that back.
So true. The scary part of no schools is the lack of socializing. That's a huge
We
piece.
learned that a couple years ago, man. We learned how that affects
Yeah,
kids
we
a
saw
couple
what,
years
and you
ago.
know what's crazy? Those people that got screwed by the pandemic, they only got screwed for like a touch.
Yes.
Like, it's not like they're
like,
the Unabomber where they were totally isolated for like a decade of their life. It was just like, just a couple years.
But it felt like
Just a couple years.
That's
And
a
those couple
decade.
years, because one, it shows how important early development is beyond any other part of your existence. And those couple years are more valuable than an entire decade later in life.
Yeah. So for me, go outside, meet the neighborhood kids.
Touch grass,
start
Brad.
some fights.
I agree. Brad
Play
nailed
some
it.
pickup football, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just like little stuff like that.
So, you know what? We before we could even get into the topic, Doug just threw us right in the whirlpool. I want to get into the declaration here. Here is one of the state officials exclaiming the oncoming legislation and some of the state rhetoric and or logic policy behind this decision.
Week, Australia will become the first country in the world to ban under 16s from having social media accounts. With one law, we can protect Generation Alpha from being sucked into purgatory by predatory algorithms described by the man who created the feature as behavioural cocaine. Teenage addiction was not a bug, it was a design feature. And on 10 December, there are going to be withdrawal symptoms. Teenagers will be upset.
It's true.
Some will fight to get back on. Some will manage to find their way around the tech and keep their accounts. But I truly believe the short-term discomfort will be worth the long-term benefits. This law is world-leading, and countries around the world are taking our lead. Denmark, Greece, Romania, France, New Zealand, Malaysia, the European
You lead nobody.
Commission have all signalled intent to
You're the prison state.
introduce a minimum age for social media. American social psychologist and author of the book The Anxious Generation, Jonathan Haidt, said, Australia's law, our law, is by far the most important single piece of legislation ever enacted on planet Earth to protect children in the internet age. 7 out of 10 kids are suffering or witnessing harm online in Australia as we speak. That is what we are trying to fix. And yes, it will be difficult. We don't shy away from the fact this is a rough transition. But like I said, every single parent who has talked to me about this since I've been the Minister for Communications has said, thank you, do not back down, and thank you for being the bad guy. Thank you for allowing me not to be the bad guy. Thank you for allowing me to say, this is against the law. The government has made this law. So I asked them to draw strength. They asked them to ask their child to write to me, if that would be of any assistance. I do video messages to transmit this message, whatever it takes. But I do not for a second think that this isn't worth doing.
just not via Facebook Messenger, I guess.
Messenger
Now-
Kids is okay.
You know what I would love though is if they had like Carl Urban as Billy Butcher to give these addresses now.
Oh my God, that would.
I would
be
take it
awesome.
more serious.
No more social media.
Oi, Huey, look at this. He just like bans all social media. I would tune in more. I would tune
Dude,
in more.
my immediate thought is she's like, we're gonna ban this. Yeah, there might be ways around this. Have they ever heard of VPNs? Because that's how you get around this shit. And you're telling me a kid raised in this digital age has never heard of VPN? That's literally how you get around this shit. So I think it's hilarious. She thinks is really going to change anything. Even she goes, there's going to be some growing pains. They'll find ways around it. Some kids will keep their current ones. And it's like, yeah, kids will find a way. We found a way around everything else back in our day. You're telling me kids?
Dude, we literally just finished an episode where I was like, I've been pirating all the a guy I know has been pirating all the movies since the beginning of the time they touched a keyboard.
On your laptop, which is even crazier.
How'd they get that
I
laptop?
don't know.
It was
I don't
never
know.
me. It was Allison Gergat. Her bedroom was right next door.
She stole it.
Turn off the IP.
What was really weird is it was still my high school password. I don't know why it was that.
I do need to get Ricky's opinion of this. There's so many ways to cut in the pie. Ricky, what do you think of the whole situation?
Isn't the government being sued by two teens fighting against this?
It's
against
true.
Their government.
Go for
Like-
them. Good for them. I love that.
but
I need to Facebook poke my friends, damn it.
how much can you do? As Doug said, VPN. There's always a jailbreak to something. Maybe buy a phone from the US and it won't, I don't know. Like, there's always a way though, but I know there's always a way. And
Mhm.
they can
Well,
try.
what's
And I guess
interesting-
if you make it harder, they'll be less interested and go outside and swim with the sharks. I don't know. Surf,
Well, that is one of the-
because they surf a lot in Australia.
That is one of the acknowledgments of this representative we had here, which is they're gonna find ways,
Yeah.
but hopefully that hiccup time where like you're itching for the screen and you can't get it, hopefully that makes, even if you just get one or a handful of kids to reflect like, oh shit, like is this thing controlling me?
They're not.
Or even just a few of them get hung up. I mean, here's the problem. One kid in school figures out a way to get Instagram. The whole school figures out how to get Instagram.
It's more beneficial for the younger kids that are like, if you're a 14 or 15-year-old, like they're definitely seeking out ways to get
Can,
around
can
it.
I go ahead, Doug?
No, like Alex, you mentioned like one kid figures out, they all figure out. Do you remember when we were in high school, you weren't able to play games on it, but then people figured out the way to download the Nintendo emulator on the school
Right.
computers,
Pokemon
and then
Red on
you're
your
able to
phone.
play Mario Kart. And
But then when
Pokemon.
one did it, everybody did it.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
So it is once one figures it out, they all figure it out. But I'm glad you raised that, Doug, because the statement I was going to throw out there immediately was I think the state knows this isn't going to truly result in the action they're looking for. No person under 16 touches social media. But what it really does is very much legitimize, like the state is coming in. This legitimizes that consideration for parents.
Yes.
How many parents actually clicked on Netflix watching The Social Dilemma? Zero. I screamed for my parents too. And they're like, listen, you're either already fucked up or it's too late for me to fix you. So I don't need to figure it out.
Not our problem.
Yeah, that's the boomer mentality.
Not a
So,
problem.
that was kind of when it came out. It was like, you should really know how these things
I
are.
bought this house for $30,000. What are you complaining
Yeah,
about?
shut
What
up.
are you complaining about?
Fucking boomer.
You had to strike that chord for Doug today. You knew that was going to get Doug, and it did.
Buying a house sucks. Fuck boomers.
Yeah. See what you did? Do you
No.
see what you did?
Well, this is what happens when you put a mic in my face.
So it is in, I guess what I'm more getting at more beyond anything else. This is a statewide declaration to parents. This is not even calling for your attention. it's a necessity.
Yes.
This is a parental necessity. Just like it took time for parents to realize they have to micromanage and be conscious of sugar and anything else, the processed foods, this is the next iteration of that. You are getting digital poison. Nobody else has declared it at a state level. Now you cannot plead ignorance. When your kid has 3 eyeballs or, a
No, but
lisp.
Alex, you talk about the sugar and stuff. Like, it is still up to the parent what they give, what they feed, what they do with their kids. At least in America. I should preface that. Hang on real quick. Well, but do you not think a parent might challenge saying, I want my kid to have a social media so she can have a place to post all her pictures to look back at, Like, at a certain point, Instagram is a photo album for people,
Well, and you know what?
There might be a parental
here's the
argument?
truth. There's a parent that comes from a lineage from Italy or, Sweden.
Okay, good one.
Yeah.
Good
And
pick, good
they
pick.
go, well, where I come from, I was able to drink wine at 13. And it's like, guess what? I have yet to see a parent thrown in jail for slipping a glass of wine to their 15-year-old in their
Ohio law
household.
states you can.
Thank you, Doug.
Yeah.
Thank you, Doug.
Like,
But in a world where they slip it to their kid in their living room, that's not the state's business. The state doesn't even really get to a point where they're policing that territory. So this is let's force child use of social media into the gray. Make a parent log into a Facebook for them and hand them the phone in their living room.
Yes.
But if we catch that kid posting their photos in the lunchroom, we have the territory. At that point, we're not only able to go after the kid, we're probably able to open the door to go after the parent too. So now the parent is invested in making sure I don't have access to Facebook at school.
Can they go after the parent? Is that part of the law?
Well, that's how laws work. It's
yeah.
going to start. That's how the agency relationship between a child and a parent works. Guess what, Doug? If your 12-year-old goes and throws a brick through a car window, you're also culpable.
Yeah, but can a
school bus
parent
once.
be culpable for a teen smart enough to figure out that a VPN can get around their national laws? Is a parent really responsible?
Yes,
for
because that's the agency relationship.
But it's social media. It's not like he's a contract for hire.
Well, then, Doug, you pick your lane. Either get rid of the entire arm of juvenile law and the basis of it,
This is just
or just make it law.
This is just
They're
my
adults.
opinion. If this was in America, there would be just so many more lawsuits before
But
this
it's
would ever
not.
be
We're
able to
talking
take
about
effect,
Australia.
man.
Well, it's
Oh my
not,
God.
and it wouldn't, because again, by the time it happens here, that's why I said it. Is this going to happen in America? Not tomorrow, but it likely will happen. If we have enough consciousness and direct democracy, the people will call for it
here's the
soon
thing.
enough.
I would say in America first, you're going to start off with individual states doing this, more so than like it just being a national law.
And
No.
that I could accept
way-
more than a national law.
But I'm going to be honest with you. What's that, Ricky?
The ways to make this pass is all the suburban moms come out and talk about their teenage years. And
Like
oh my
mad.
God, social media did this and did it. And then their man that's in government is going to push. It always, that's how it happens always. So
Like, that's legit why we have 21 as a drinking age in Ohio. A bunch of moms got together and made that the law. That's that.
But here's the thing.
It's from our generation. Like
I have a hard time anticipating this being a state law before a federal law, because the practicality of that is zero.
But I could see California, honestly, doing that before.
Fair,
anyone
Doug. I
else.
will give you that.
And that rolls into our next topic too.
I mean, he's not wrong.
No.
So closing out this topic, do you have any wrapping thoughts? Because personally, I do think this is a virtue. As somebody who truly hates state intervention, it's get the digital crack out of kids' hands.
I mean, I'm all, like I said, my first argument was the best argument to me is just go outside, poke stuff with sticks, get outside, touch grass, meet people that way, go hang out in your neighborhood. You don't always need to be posting about it or scrolling just at endless, mindless doom scrolling that I'll probably do before bed tonight, which I know isn't good for me, but it's like, again, I'm 31.
But it's not good for you. So it's like, it's even worse for a kid.
again,
so
I'm
you
glad-
see the value in like, yeah, pull the cigarettes out of the
But
kids'
again,
hands.
I'm glad I wasn't doing that
Because you
at my
couldn't.
young age. Because I couldn't, right.
Because if you
I
could,
couldn't.
you would.
I 100% would be. But,
And that'd be a problem.
but like, it's just more like, it's such a hard, it's like Pandora's box is open. How do you effectively seal it? I don't know if you can, and I know they can't, but it's like any attempt, I'll, support it.
Right. Doug, wrapping thoughts?
So I do think I have a somewhat solution to this. And it's what I said at the beginning. As far as I'm aware, dumb phones are no longer made. I'm pretty sure no major wireless
Only
carrier.
smartphones.
Yeah. Bring back the dumb phones then. All right. Like if we don't want kids on this stuff, then we shouldn't be giving kids smartphones that can do all this stuff. What did our
Great
parents
point.
give us? They gave us a freaking flip phone that mine had text ability, but it was 25 cents a text and I had to pay for it.
But you know
like,
what?
maybe we
Texting
bring
isn't
something-
social media.
No,
So I
that's
agree.
No, but like,
there is the extra layer of danger doesn't exist in just the exchange of communication and pictures. So I do agree with you.
Yeah, bring back the dumb phone. Give that to kids under a certain age. Like we got phones. I got my first phone in 8th grade, and that was purely because we had to get bused to the football field, and then we were having after-school football, and then I had to be able to tell my parents if something happened or whatnot. That's legit why I got it. Couldn't do anything other than call my parents. I had limited minutes, like I said. Bring back the dumb phones, and these kids can't even access that crap.
I
Dude,
really do think you're onto
dude,
something.
Before we really end this, remember text to tweet?
Oh, dude, I remember
being like,
Alex
in high
had
school
his
and like
phone.
you could have Twitter like as a contact on your phone and you
Yep.
could text it and you would tweet.
Well, dude, will you say
Remember that? That
You
was
say that.
wild.
I remember Alex had his phone taken away by his dad at some point, and so he texted me a number that was his like Facebook number, and I could text him through that number, and he'd get it on Facebook Messenger. And I remember we had to do that for a little bit.
I also remember when
I've
Alex
never gotten in trouble ever.
I remember when Alex got his phone taken away too by a teacher.
I've never gotten in trouble. Period.
He was also the first guy with a smartphone, so I don't think teachers knew how to handle that.
All right, Ricky, give us your wrapping thoughts on this whole crazy thing.
They're gonna find a way around it, just like kids are finding a way around Pornhub in Texas.
Dude, VPNs are the
Mm.
simplest solution.
And you know what? I like Ricky's point. At the end of the day, it's going to happen anyway. But at the very least, make them work for it.
Yeah.
Like don't
yeah.
don't just have the crack on the counter. It's in the safe.
The safe and you're cracking the code.
Yeah, crack the
The
code,
cracking
baby.
the code is a VPN in Sweden I'm using.
After everything we've unpacked, here's where I land. Australia didn't just start a debate. They fired a warning shot across the bow of the entire modern world. And the uncomfortable truth is this. It shouldn't take a government on the other side of the planet to remind us that kids aren't built to compete with billion-dollar attention harvesting machines. We've let Silicon Valley experiment on a whole entire generation like they're lab rats. And now that emotional meltdowns, anxiety spikes, sleep disorders, and collapsing self-esteem numbers are undeniable. Now we clutch our pearls and wonder if it's too extreme to step in. Give me a break. Australia drew a line, and maybe we don't copy and paste their solution, but we can't pretend the problem doesn't exist anymore because the algorithms aren't parenting the kids, they're raising them. And the companies know it. The experts know it. The science knows it. The only people pretending otherwise are the ones making the money. So maybe, just maybe, it's time to stop letting tech companies treat children like clinical trials. And maybe it's time parents take the wheel again instead of handing their kids a glowing rectangle and hoping for the best. Kids need boredom. They need real world danger. They need scraped knees, awkward conversations, sunlight, mud, imagination. They need a life that isn't piped in through an algorithm. Because at the end of the day, this isn't about left versus right. It's about freedom versus regulation. And it's more than anything what we want: a generation of kids who can think, feel, cope, and connect. Or would we prefer a generation raised by a device designed to make them addicts? Australia made its move. The question is, will America wake up before our kids forget what childhood even feels like? All right, let's get into our closing topic here, because I definitely want to try to preserve some time for down the wiki hole if we can afford it. So getting into our last topic of the day here, it is a crazy one. Let's talk about a lawsuit nobody saw coming, but everybody instantly understood. The city of San Francisco, yes, the same city where stepping in human feces has statistically better odds than finding affordable rent, has decided it's finally time to draw a moral line in the sand. And surprisingly, the line isn't about crime, homelessness, or open-air fentanyl markets. No. The villain of the day is Kraft, Coca-Cola, PepsiCo, and basically half of the American grocery store. San Francisco has launched the first ever lawsuit in the United States targeting ultra-processed foods, or UPFs. Not sugary foods, not sodas, not fast food, ultra-processed foods as a category. This is a legal first, a prototype, the beginning of a brand new strategy, and they're aiming straight at the giants: Kraft Heinz, Coca-Cola, Nestle, PepsiCo, Unilever, General Mills. If it comes in a box, a tube, and can survive a nuclear winter, or has an ingredient list longer than a CVS receipt, they're coming for it. Here's the essence of their argument. These companies have been knowingly selling products packed with synthetic additives, engineered flavors, manipulated textures, and chemical ingredients that don't technically exist in nature. And they've been advertising them as normal food, as everyday food, as harmless, fun, family-friendly pantry staples. And the city is saying, you knew these products weren't just harmless. You knew they were addictive. You knew they were linked to obesity, diabetes, heart disease, depression, and metabolic dysfunction. And you marketed them anyway. This lawsuit claims that UPFs essentially operate like a legal form of nicotine, engineered to keep you hooked and coming back for more, while wrecking your body slowly enough to single this event and should be the sole blamer. The legal term they've learned, I really jacked this up. The legal term they're leaning on: deceptive business practices, the same umbrella that has been used in tobacco lawsuits in the 1990s. They're arguing that these companies didn't just sell unhealthy food. They created a food system where avoiding addiction requires superhuman discipline. And if you think that sounds extreme, well, welcome to 2025. We now have multiple studies showing that ultra-processed foods manipulate reward centers in the brain. They disrupt hunger hormones, spike inflammation, and create dependency-like cycles. We have research showing that diets high in UPFs are associated with higher rates of cancer, early death, anxiety, cognitive decline, and metabolic syndromes. The World Health Organization has been sounding the alarm, which, when did we stop letting them be our police? The American Academy of Pediatrics is basically begging parents to keep this stuff away from their kids. And the UN literally recommends limiting UPFs as a global health intervention. Meanwhile, the companies say, hey, we're just giving the people what they want. Yeah, because you engineered the people to want it. Now, here's the delicious twist. When a city famous for open-air everything turns to food, not crime, not drugs, as the existential threat, that's when you know we're in uncharted territory. That's when you know something has gone off the rails. San Francisco basically said, we can tolerate street chaos, but cheese whiz, that's where we draw the line. With all jokes aside, the reason this lawsuit matters is because it's targeting the business model of processed food companies and not just the products. It's saying the whole system, from ingredient design to branding, is a scam. And if this lawsuit succeeds, even partially, It could trigger a national avalanche. Think about opioid crisis lawsuits. Think big tobacco. Cities across the country could follow San Francisco's playbook and sue the entire snack aisle into oblivion. And let's be honest, America's health stats speak for themselves. We are sicker, heavier, more inflamed, and more mentally unstable than any generation before us. Kids have chronic illness that used to affect 60-year-olds. Teenagers have pre-diabetes. Adults feel like they're falling apart by 35. And what do all these trends have in common? Ultra-processed foods are woven into the picture like glue. So yes, the lawsuit is unprecedented, but is it surprising? Not even a little. When you turn your food supply into a chemistry experiment, eventually someone is going to notice. San Francisco, of all places, just happened to be the first. What do you got for me, Doug?
Oh, dude, I've got some thoughts on this. So, first off, the immediate thought when it comes to this type of lawsuit, I immediately in my head think of like the New York City large cola ban back in like 2012 or whatever, which was eventually struck down by the courts. But like, in my opinion, telling me I can't order a extra large of something that's legal is different than going after the contents of the soda. So that's where it's like, all right, I thought the New York City thing was dumb. This has some merits because they're going after actually what's in it than the size I'm allowed to order, but I can still order it.
That is interesting.
But like immediately when that happened, that kind of came to my mind of that lawsuit ban. But also, dude, like you mentioned the processed foods increase in like cancer specifically. Dude, I've read recently colon cancer in young adults under 50 is rising 5% annually. And you don't think that corresponds to, let's see, the older people with the lower rate, all right, they were eating less processed stuff
Clean
back
food.
in the day, actual foods back in the day. So you're telling me the younger people like us that grew up starting off with this ultra processed stuff, there's something there. And then it circles back to like going after what's in it versus how much I can eat makes more sense. You know, like that New York law telling me I can't order an extra large, but I can get a large. That makes no sense. But this makes more sense.
Here's what I'll say. Something is in this kid's school lunch.
It's probably the Lunchables that we found out were
Feastables.
like 1,000% sodium for your daily amount.
Feastables.
Yeah.
That's what it
It's
is.
literally feasible. I got to give San Francisco credit for all the screwed up problems we've heard about them over the past decade. They really picked the best thing to go after to put themselves in good graces across the
We
country.
made the digital map for the poop, and all of San Francisco's covered. What should we address first?
Not the poop.
Kraft mac and cheese.
They literally took one bite of mac and cheese. They're like, what the hell is this shit?
no, Will. They
what
ate
it
the
is
mac and cheese, and they're like, "This is what's making all the poop."
That's not what the bigger piece is. You go through the city, and they're like, it's all a lot runnier than it was 15 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know if we're all becoming a little lactose intolerant, or maybe it's what's in this mac and cheese.
There's a little
Everybody
less
has-
natural cheese.
Everybody has developed a gluten intolerance. I don't know where this has come from.
You know, but I mean, like, hey, kudos for this is the first good news I've seen out of
Yeah.
San Francisco since they benched Colin Kaepernick. So for me, this is pretty good. This is a good comeback for them.
It's a good
It's one
comeback.
hey, I'm on their side for once.
That's true.
Yeah,
That is so true. That's a good one.
thank you.
I got to get Ricky. What are your thoughts on this whole thing?
I feel like every state should pick this lawsuit up.
Yes.
Like, make it a federal
Yeah.
lawsuit. This
one
makes
makes
so
the
much
most sense,
sense. This will actually make a huge difference. Like I like it. San Francisco. Yay.
For being the biggest low-hanging fruit city in the entire country, like, we have nothing but praise for them at the moment.
Right. Like, the biggest win came from the shittiest city.
Literally all the jokes are there, and we're just like, I hope every
Shittiest.
every city picks this up.
The truth is, we all really do need to go to like Cleveland and be like, what are you doing?
Oh yeah,
But
we're building a football stadium. We're talking about.
yeah,
Like I would
We
think the
literally sell this
states with a lot of farmers will go to this more because you have farmers, natural products, like not taken over by big corporations shooting up the chickens. I would think they would be on this more, or maybe more local farmers around the country would join the lawsuit. And
when's
So, like,
Texas getting in on
will
this?
force
Yeah,
all the
something.
farms that are in that area to move somewhere else, and then that just changes nothing.
Well, let
You know what I
that
mean?
become the toxic. Like that can become Springfield, and the rest of us will live fine.
Yeah.
Like, go pump them full
Put
of your
that
Kraft
dome over
crap.
them. Put that dome over them.
Yeah.
We
Oh
don't
my
need
God.
no Springfield.
See, they're onto something.
They're definitely.
We
moving.
just all we have to do is get Tom Hanks to say there's never a Springfield. That's all you got.
We're not even gonna open that can
I
of worms.
could, I
But
could go without having Tom Hanks speak about
what
it.
we need to do is put all of Unilever and Coca-Cola and Kraft in one locale. Not San Francisco, but somewhere in California.
Ann Arbor.
Ann Arbor's a good second. Ann Arbor's a whore. So we just put it all there. She deserves it. And then just put a dome.
Yeah, just put it.
And then they could just live on 300-year-old mac and cheese that never expires.
Twinkies that never go bad.
Oh my God, where's the Twinkie factory? Put it there.
Yeah, just so it never
put it
gets out.
there.
It's just right here on the source. We're cooked in about 3 minutes or less in your microwave.
You wanted your Easy Mac? Oh my God, that's good.
Easy Mac was my college meal.
Your
too.
cheese is powder and water. I promise you, it's normal.
in a plastic bowl being microwaved.
Yeah.
But I have no swimmers, and I just can't figure out why.
Oh my God, it's too. The jokes.
We're cooked.
It's
This is a beautiful topic because there really isn't much more to unpack.
No.
We've done this topic a million times over in their own way. This is a very clear problem. We've exclaimed the problem in every faction we can find it. And one city, the shittiest city, is going, I think we might try to do
We
something.
really have. I'd say like
'Cause
one out
maybe-
of 4 shows we discuss something along these lines
Yes.
of like the horrible things. that are
And nobody's
food.
done
And no
anything
one's done
ever.
anything, and
You
then
know what's
San
crazy?
Francisco's like we got runny poop.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? Maybe they think the addiction starts when you're younger. You first get addicted to the sweet stuff, then you want the spicy stuff. You
I mean,
know,
but Ricky,
Cheetos ads on
You
Facebook.
don't think Halloween gets kids addicted to that sugary sweet stuff? I mean, there's literally a holiday where all they do.
Not
is
if you have a good
record and
parent
get
at
free
home
stuff.
that
Listen,
say,
I'm taking offense.
not if you have a good parent at home that say, all right, we're gonna donate half this and we're gonna ration this. No, I don't think so.
Right. Well, and this kind of mirrors the last topic where it all does start and end at the home, but the beautiful angle this pioneering legal claim is taking is you've stripped folks of their ability to have autonomous decision making. Like you're hijacking our biology. This, like Doug said, it's everywhere. Once a year, my kid is getting the candy bar from every person in the neighborhood. And I'm the asshole that's going to be like, no.
Yeah, you're gonna be
Raisins?
that parent.
Raisins. Yeah.
Raisins are the move.
Dude, there was a famous story of me as a child. Apparently, I was like 6 years old, and like I went trick or treating. My cousins took me. My mom and aunt were with them, and some family gave me like raisins, and I threw like a temper tantrum, like walking down the street saying that house sucked or whatever.
In 6 or 7 years, I'm TPing that
But
house.
I actually love raisins.
That's
so.
the house is marked. Yeah, I bet you did, Doug.
I did. I loved raisins as a kid. I'd take one box of raisin to my other 100 bars of chocolate. I was never mad about that.
Doug, everybody.
It's all
One out of
about
4 people.
ratios, man. One box of raisins versus all my other chocolate. Who cares?
This whole thing though does trigger me to a certain degree because me as a 31-year-old free thinking individual does sometimes find himself in the local drug mart buying a 6-pack of fruit by the foot and eating the entire thing within an hour.
It is a problem. Making one big bag of Gushers was a relief because that's what the box of Gushers were for me. If you look at the ounces, they're the exact same. So stop making me have 20 packets of
I
plastic
don't want to
everywhere.
open this stuff.
I don't need to open this 20
one.
times. I've already made the decision. I'm blasting through this.
You're ruining this, San Francisco.
Also, it was a problem. I mean, there's something to reflect upon here. My parents took that very serious, and it was a treat that was like under lock and key. Problem with that is it never started being less addicting. It didn't stop being more intrusive in my biology. Ergo, the second I started getting paychecks of my own, look at me.
Let's wait for you.
I haven't stopped the Gushers.
They put it under a lock and key, and you're like, unfortunately for them, I became quite the lockpick.
Well, dude, Alex, that's
Fortunately for
like-
me, I became autonomous one day.
I went to my buddy's house with kids, and his kid was doing cookie baking earlier. I get over there after their cookie bake. His kid is running around, just going, running around the house, sees me, running around the house, sees me again, like, they're like, yeah, she had a few cookies at the cookie baking. It's like, dude, sugar on kids is a terrible combination.
It's true.
Mhm.
And, you know, at least before there was a serious dialogue around it enough to where people tried to police it. Now it feels like these younger generations, it's so futile. The parents are like, have at it. I got a Feastable for you. have a field day. What do you want?
What doesn't have sugar at this point, man? What doesn't?
He's just flossing.
Parents are just giving them the candy just to watch them keep doing it.
6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7. Shit, I will give you a Feastable if you stop. This is how I get my Feastables now. 6, 7, 6, 7.
Jack and I have a Feastable at 6, 7. It's too. Yeah. Hey, you know what? Good on San Francisco, though.
Good on San Francisco. Cheers to the good people of the sunny state. Let me bring in Ricky. Look at, he's even doing it. I love it. I love it. So let's get into our rapping thoughts here. First, I'm going to go to Will. I'm going to go to Ricky. Doug, if you have thoughts, we'll get them too. What are your rapping thoughts on the good old sunny state bringing us some pioneering legislation?
Might be the best news out of that state in like 2 years.
2 or more?
I'll give them benefit of the doubt. I'll round down like the penny.
Fair. Ricky, what are your rapping thoughts on the whole legislation consideration?
Instead of the city of San Francisco, the state need to pick it up, and every state need to join on, especially Midwest states that have farmers and stuff like that does stuff normal, unlike these big corporations. We need it. I love it.
I love it. Good kudos. Good way to close it. Doug, any rapping thoughts?
Yeah, dude, I look at this almost like the recent federal government banning that red dye whatever stuff that's been proven to be bad. Finally, you know, Europe had already banned this shit, and we're late to the draw. Maybe it does take a city, then a state, then multiple states to actually get the federal government to do this, because we've already taken care of one. Why aren't we taking care of the rest of this shit?
And just like red dye and this specific consideration, Doug raises a great point. Why does it take multiple cities to then get the state, to then need multiple states to then finally get Big Daddy federal government's attention? And financial interest is always what's driving it. So I guess more than anything, what I would want to highlight as a closing concept is, as always, I haven't said it to you enough. You vote with your views and you vote with your dollars.
Well, real quick, Alex,
hold on, real
would
quick. The unique consideration that follows this, though, you vote with your views, you vote with your dollars. The reason why I believe this lawsuit is going to have as much momentum as it will is because they're picking on an even greater point. The biological hacking that this does, it truly has stripped you of that autonomous choice. We are left under the belief you decide you're voting with your views and you're voting with your dollars, but its ability to create addictions and strip you of your ability to get full or say no, that option biologically isn't available like they purport it to be. What were you going to say, Doug?
No, I just want to ask this last question. Are we willing to pay more for non-ultra processed lunch meat, like what our parents probably had back in the day? Are we willing to pay more for potato chips that are actually whatever type of fat that they fry them in now versus back? You know what I mean? Because the only way to actually fix this would be to go back to what were the older ways, which costs more to produce, which is why they switched to this cheaper stuff. Why is cornstarch, corn syrup so widely used? Because it's cheaper than actual natural sugar. So are we willing as a community to pay more for this change?
Are we willing to? The answer is no.
Yeah.
Should we be? Yes.
Yep.
And that's
But why should we pay more to be healthier? Why shouldn't
Right.
be healthier be a freaking norm?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why I think this legislation or this lawsuit, if passed, creating a precedent, would be so powerful, because the inclination here is, Doug, that ability to decide, the autonomy, the lawsuit is saying you've stripped me of that. I don't have the ability to decide because I'm addicted and you've hacked my biology. And if a court of law confirms that, oh man, the
And
people
I
were
just
strengthened finally
really
for once.
quickly want to point out, even Ricky, in one of his comments here, he said companies need to go back to glass. Why? Because everything's in plastic. And as we've talked
Right.
about multiple times, that plastic gets in the stuff and gets in you. And so like that even is something maybe that needs to be addressed almost in the same way.
No, you're right. We need to demand that of our products for sure. So closing it out here. So when you zoom out from all of this, the lawsuit, the food giants, the engineered ingredients, the city's finally waking up, it becomes painfully obvious. This isn't about snacks. It's not about Oreos or juice boxes or microwave dinners. It's about a system that's been training us for decades to accept addiction as convenience and illness as normal. And the craziest part, we've been sold this whole thing with smiling mascots and feel-good commercials. San Francisco's lawsuit may look ridiculous on the surface, but the city with hundreds of real crises decides to pick a fight with Cheez-Its? Underneath all that, this is the first real shot across the bow at companies that have quietly shaped America's entire health trajectory. And maybe that's what it takes. Maybe it does take the city everyone loves to clown on to finally say, hey, maybe feeding the population industrial sludge with cartoon characters on the packaging wasn't the best long-term plan. Because at the end of the day, the science isn't subtle. Ultra-processed foods are wrecking us, not slowly, systemically. And the companies making billions off the damage knew exactly what they were doing. You don't create addiction by accident. You don't design foods that melt in the mouth or overrides society, spiking dopamine and keeping people buying more by coincidence. That's not culinary innovation. That's behavioral engineering. So if the lawsuit does anything at all, I hope it forces people to stop sleepwalking through the grocery aisle. Read labels, ask questions. Don't trust the front of the package. The truth is always buried in the fine print. And maybe the real message is just this. If we wait for the system to fix the system, we're going to be waiting forever. But if ordinary people start waking up, demanding real food, real transparency, and real accountability, that's when things change. Until then, the choice is simple. Either we keep letting corporations design our biology, or we finally decide to take our health back from the people who profit when it falls apart. All right, let's get into our closing bit here. We need something fun. We haven't done this in a little bit. So as much as I'd like to go to the wheel, I want to have some fun. And I want to test the studio folks here with a game of Down the Wiki Hole. For the folks that are new to the show or don't know how to play the game, we start at a wiki page, and it's for a person, could be dead, could be alive, who knows. We start with a common figure, a person that people should know, and we click 5 pages away from there. And you'd be amazed how far off in the weeds we may be able to get. So we start at page 5 and we slowly work our way back to the person. Each person for each round, there's 5, Will, Doug, and Ricky can either ask a question or take a guess. Their goal to play off of each other's questions and inquiries to find who is the original person we're guessing for. Oh my God, Ricky. It's a good question. It's a good question. And you might have to save it. So we're going to go through one by one, starting with round one. This is where you can decide to ask a question or take a guess. Some would say you should probably just start with a guess. Here's where we're starting. Joseph Pulitzer.
I was waiting.
He's
for that
known
person.
He's known for the Pulitzer Prize. Right, the Pulitzer Award. He's a Hungarian American politician and a newspaper publisher. Starting with you, Will. Do you have a question you'd like to ask, or do you want to take a guess?
Is it a boy?
Yes, male.
Thank you.
Male, yes.
It's a guy, guys.
It's a guy, guys. All right, Doug, take a guess or take a guess.
Is the male a Pulitzer Prize winner?
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know. Here, I could, you know what? Let me tell you.
Well, if you got to it, I mean,
I would imagine, but I don't think so. I'm going to go on a limb and say no. But let me confirm for you.
Remember, guys, we're all on the same team here. We're all trying to figure this out.
I'm going to say no, but
I mean, I just had to
Who is
ask.
it? I'll look
hard no.
Hard no, guys.
Has not won a Pulitzer Prize.
Hard no, guys.
Okay, so just the way he worded that sentence, this individual is alive, by the way.
How do you know?
Has not won.
Yeah, they never have. They could have lived an entire lifespan.
You would have said hadn't won.
Hey, you could operate off an assumption, or you could get the declaration by asking the question.
Best, Alex, so.
Hey, it's a good way of looking
I know
at
this
it.
man is very precise with his choice of words.
Maybe Ricky.
Or he made a mistake.
I don't know. I can only give you the confirmations in your inquiry. Ricky,
Just ask if they're alive.
Is this person in politics?
no, not even a little bit, actually. Which good for them. Okay, so now we're back to round two. We're getting one page closer to the person. And hey, guys that are watching, be sure to be jumping in the comments. You might be able to give some clues, hints, and inquiries for the crew here. You're all in a game together trying to see if you can not be fooled by me. So let's do this. Boom. All right. Next is yellow journalism.
What's
Yellow journalism. In journalism, yellow journalism and the yellow press are American newspapers that use eye-catching headlines and sensationalized exaggerations for increased sales. Yellow journalism. Would you like to ask a question or take a guess?
You should ask if this person is still alive.
No.
He's convicted.
I have an idea.
Can you read the definition of yellow journalism again for me?
Yes, yellow journalism and the yellow press are American newspapers that use eye-catching headlines and sensationalized exaggerations for increased sales.
Is this individual an influencer?
Yes.
Okay.
An influencer.
I would say, yeah.
You want to know why I asked that?
Meaning social media
Yes,
influencer? I just want to.
I'm just
Doug,
going by,
Doug, let me flesh out why I asked that question. When I heard yellow journalism and this individual hasn't won a Pulitzer Prize, I'm thinking in my head, I was like, okay, this individual probably wants to grab your attention while.
Wait, but remember Ricky's question, which is this person is not political.
No. But that's what I mean. Like it could be like a YouTube thumbnail individual or something like that.
Oh,
Like,
God.
that's
This
why I
made my
asked. I
next
was like-
question harder then.
Well, it's coming to you. Taking a question, or you want to take a guess?
That's why I asked that question. I was like, this person is trying to be sensational. Doesn't have to be political.
So
They're an influencer. I didn't say that they're sensational.
No, but like-
They may be.
Yeah.
Is this person still alive?
Yes.
Okay.
Ricky, coming to you. Do you want to take a guess or ask a question?
A live influencer, not a Pulitzer Prize winner, and male, right?
Is this person in between their 30s and 40s?
Yes. I'm right off the bat. I say yes, but let me just confirm. Yeah, nope, perfect. Perfectly fits in there.
And this
Somewhere
person
in
is
that
alive,
range.
guys.
All right, we're working with that. Okay. Next.
All right, we're getting to the next slide. Now we're at page 3. We're getting pretty close. We're going to be only 2 pages away now from the answer. All right, Appalachia. Appalachia is a geographic region located in the Appalachian Mountains east of North America. Which is crazy that yellow journalism is under this one of all things, but it is.
Well,
So, Will, would you like to ask a question or take a guess?
definitely asking a question. I have no idea who this person could be.
Are
There's
they
a lot of people
American?
in that age.
Yeah.
Appalachia. You guys have any input you'd like me to ask?
Are they American? Because why are we in Appalachia?
Yo,
But
I just want to reread this again so you could catch it. It's a geographical region located in the Appalachian Mountain east of North America. So we are talking North America. I'm going to give you that.
Right, but I'm trying to think if it went to Appalachia because this individual might live there, or
If it's
because
an
they operate out of
influencer, I
there.
have no idea.
But that's what I mean.
I-
It's like if it's an influencer.
I'm a historical guy.
All I know is Doug is going to find the longest stick and sit on it when he knows who this is and pretended he would never guess who this could be.
Dude, I may be wrong. This is tough though, man. You like sometimes.
No,
you
I'm
give
just
us
saying, you're
something.
like, oh, my, here's what I'll
You
tell the
give us
room.
something usually. This one's
To the
harder,
audience that's
man.
listening,
This is hard.
the damnation that all of you are going to be
We
cut
could
from.
be
You're
so
not
wrong.
going to be exposed to this damnation, which is the 25 minutes following this episode is going to be Doug going, I can't believe I didn't know. Blah, 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 blah."
I
telling
believe
you.
it.
I'm
I
telling
believe
you,
it.
I'm going to get
I
to
know
hear
that's
Doug
gonna
for 25 minutes. That's a bigger hint than you realize.
I'm thinking.
All right,
I'm thinking.
give me a question because we're running out of time.
Is this individual located at this part of the country?
Definitely.
Okay. So this is where they're from.
Even
Or
if they're not
operate.
right there right now, they're for sure known for being
Okay, that's
in
why I
this
was
span
kind
of
hung up on
geographical
how I wanted to
location.
ask the question.
Douglas. Would you like to ask a question or take a guess?
Does anyone have anything I should ask?
Oh,
I mean,
Are they
because like
black?
if I
Are they
didn't know
black?
this person was an influencer and alive, I would personally guess John Denver. I mean, that's the point I'm at. Appalachia makes me think John Denver,
Guess it.
but he's dead, so that's not it.
Oh my God.
Oh, God. No.
Anyone got anything? Will?
you did. Oh my god.
I got nothing. What should I ask?
Help bro with a question.
Yeah, help a brother out, guys. Anything. What's gonna help you,
Ask
Ricky?
him if he's someone. If he's like an individual who trends often.
Doug.
Well, that's actually good because we know. he's
So ask the damn question,
So-
Doug.
Does this person trend often?
No.
Okay.
They did. They've had
They
that
did.
period. But I would say
Did.
once you know the name, you'd go, no, they're not trending often.
Okay. So they're not
Ah.
a relevant individual at the moment.
They're relevant to us. I'm giving you that
To
clue.
us, then.
They're very relevant. This person
When you
is
s-
relevant.
when you say
Relevant
They're
us,
not trending
us.
right now.
When you
This
say
whole room,
us.
every person
Okay.
engaged in this game, this person is very relevant to.
Us.
They're not trending right now.
Not trending. Oh
I almost
my God.
want the
Well, I'm
next
glad I
slide
asked. That's not bad to know.
to
Then.
get closer to it.
All right,
So,
Ricky,
okay.
you have a guess or a question?
Male, never won the award, not a politician. Yellow journalism, influencer, still alive between 30s and 40s. Appalachian Mountains. Low, okay, all right. And not trending person.
Currently, not trending.
Currently.
But would we?
There's
would
someone
know
we would
them?
know of.
Yeah, someone we would know. Our age group.
I wouldn't say
I wouldn't say age.
they're
group, just
not
like in
our
general.
age. Every person playing this game
No, but we would. know.
wholeheartedly has sewn this person as a fabric of their existence.
It has to be our age group is between 30 and 40. So
I
some-
guess technically.
we old.
Somewhere
we
in that
old.
decade range.
All right. What can I ask that will help us?
Yeah, give us a question because then we get to our closest page to the answer, and this might open up the can of worms.
That's like I'm glad I asked if like they were located over there.
Kind of killed the whole thing.
Are
Maybe.
they from Shop Access State?
Say that again?
Should I ask a state?
Yeah,
I'm
pick a
talking to the
state.
fellas.
Sure.
I mean, I got nothing to help.
Are they
out.
from Pennsylvania?
Yes. Speaking of which, we get even more narrow. Let's get to the final clue, the last round. Pittsburgh. Narrows it even more. Yellow journalism. Do you have a question or a guess?
Does anybody have anything they want to input?
Well, we know he's alive.
No, I know what we know. I'm asking what you want me to potentially ask.
What
or
don't we
guess.
know?
Yes.
I'm lost, so I'm no help here. Guys.
Ricky, do you have anything? Because it
lost.
sounds like you were kind of onto something.
No.
Bro picked Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania. We got even more narrow. Pittsburgh. He's like, I'm more confused than when I started.
Got nothing. I'm dry.
I gotta
right
say
now.
the questions were weak. You really could have.
Of course, you're weak. You fucking know who it is.
Yeah, this was hard in my opinion. This was harder.
It was
Alex.
the Steelers. Hey, guys out here dropping hints. Who knows?
Oh, is he part of the Steelers or associated? You said the questions count as questions, so comments count.
Is he an athlete?
Yeah, like
Is he a professional athlete? No. Has he been building a notoriety of athletic involvement outside of sports?
Oh, I know. Who it is.
As of recent, yes.
And I'm pretty sure. I think it's Pat.
okay. Will, what should I ask, man?
Uh,
What will help you get there?
I mean, if he's not a professional athlete, maybe he's a former professional athlete. Is that part of that?
Do you want to? I would say I'll save you guys. No,
Okay.
never was a professional athlete. Doug, coming to you. Question or guess?
Guys, help me out here. I have nothing.
I can't wait to do all this helping for Doug.
I have
for Doug
nothing.
to be like, I knew.
You
who it
can't
was.
ask any question.
I can't think of anything, man. Like usually I have something, but like
Right. So
I
you don't have a
nothing.
thread to pick
I
at. So
have
just
nothing.
ask anything about the person. Do they eat oatmeal? Like pick something that could help further understand a person.
Let's see. Non-political, not an athlete, but doing stuff outside the athletic realm between 30 and 40.
Definitely said he was an athlete.
Not a professional athlete.
But not a professional.
Has done
athlete.
things athletically publicly. That's kind of his little thing now.
Oh, is he a streamer?
No. But I didn't even need to answer that question.
Anyone. Anyone at all.
Doug,
Ricky.
you're not
come
creative
on.
enough to come up with anything?
I can't even come up with anything.
Well, then we're going to forego that. You lost a round.
That's all
Ricky,
right.
coming to you. Do you have a question or a guess?
Ricky didn't have anything to tell me to ask, then I guess we had nothing going.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
he does.
You could ask if they're black or white, Doug. I
Right.
don't know.
Doug's dumb. So go ahead
You
for
already
yourself.
asked your first question if they were black, and he
And he
said
didn't
no.
answer. That was a part
No,
of
I
it.
didn't ask. It was in the
You didn't
comments.
ask that, Doug.
He
I didn't
posted
ask
that as a
it.
comment.
So what was the answer? Oh, because that wasn't a part. You'd be considering it right now, Doug.
Um,
Do you want to ask that?
No, because I don't think it's going
If
to
they're-
help that much.
Okay.
That would eliminate a lot.
Yeah, half
I
of
have
humans.
nothing in mind. I
Doug,
had
just
nothing.
ask that question.
All right.
Yeah, Doug.
Alex, is he white or black?
Doug, you are a failure in every facet. He's black.
no, he's-
It's supposed to be a yes or no question, but it's okay.
he's black. Okay,
That threw
okay. He's
Rick
not an
for a loop.
athlete,
Son of a
black,
bitch.
but we
Yes,
know
the
him.
Appalachian whiteys in Pennsylvania. I mean-
Okay, my guess. Wiz Khalifa.
Ooh. Oh.
Oh, can't go to image. Gotta go.
Ricky.
Is it Wiz Khalifa?
Oh my
I don't
God.
know.
That
That's
is
my
a
guess.
good guess, though.
Doug
Oh my
is
God.
dumb.
Doug knew the whole time.
Doug knew the whole time. Ricky wins.
I didn't even think about Pennsylvania.
We win, nigga.
Dude, Alex, you
We out
nailed it by
here.
saying, like,
Paper
was he very
planes.
popular
You feel
less?
me?
And he still kind of is, but Alex, you nailed it. You said I know. You said I know.
No, what I said is I'm
Everybody knows who Wiz Khalifa is, dog.
I know, but Alex
Everybody
chose,
knows who Wiz Khalifa is. You're
but
not
Alex
defined
chose
on
to call me out, and I have
journalism,
to. I have
he's
to
a
give credit where
rapper.
credit is due.
He
Alex
does
nailed it.
athletic
He knew
shit.
I would know. He knew I would know.
No, what I said I
You didn't know
years.
shit. You didn't know shit. You were useless in this whole thing.
I was
You didn't ask an
useless.
individual question. You thought it was John Denver when you saw Appalachia.
Yeah,
And we
because
already got
where,
past the point of, they're not still alive.
where does Appalachia come into play with Wiz Khalifa? Except
we
John
did this.
Denver fucking sings about it.
Here's what I'll
Here.
say. The only thing I
Here.
called from the beginning.
Useless. No,
is
I'm still on this. You were useless when it comes to this game, and then you
Hey,
always take it
Alex
like you
called
won the
it.
damn thing.
All right, I'm
You have
sorry,
no
I'm
input
useless.
this
Alex
whole damn
called it.
time.
Doug,
You couldn't even
come on,
ask the
bruh.
question if he was black.
If
right?
it was a historical quiz,
You were awful
I
at this
would
game.
fucking win.
Absolutely awful at this game.
Ask me a history question, bitch, and I
ask
got
me
you.
Ask me a Star Trek question. 6767. Loser
Hey.
behavior from the loser corner.
Hey.
Ricky, you did
Doug.
great. Thank you for the
Doug,
help over
we
there.
won. Alex,
Oh my
I don't think
God.
you have
And
Every
don't
time
play
we
with
play
me,
this
Will. I
Every
didn't ask
time
to
we
play
play
this
this
game,
game.
Will.
Oh,
Doug,
Here's
no
what
one
I-
asked
Doug.
to play this game, you asshat.
Doug,
The only thing I proclaimed
I'm
from
just
the
saying,
beginning
it's
is
Doug.
that this would be my nightmare for the next 25 minutes, and I predicted that correctly.
Doug,
Oh my God.
why you prove Alex right? You could have just been right. You had to prove him right, dog. You had to prove
You
him
proved
right.
me white 10 times over, Doug. Thanks for that. You bastard.
We literally got the yellow journalism and it hit your corner. And every time you're like, I don't know what to ask. I don't know.
I didn't know what to ask. No one else did either. You
Dude,
did.
I thought going from yellow journalism to Appalachia to Pittsburgh was like too black and yellow. They're going to get it. Nope.
I didn't
No,
get it.
I
I didn't
thought
get-
yellow journalism's out in left
Do
field,
I
but
look
yellow.
like that type of person to get that answer, Alex? That's a no.
That's why we're going to hear about it for the next half hour.
Look, I
I
wanna
can
know.
promise you.
What's the score between WikiLeaks, us versus you? Have you won one yet?
I think
Oh
we
yeah,
won,
this is
like,
two. You guys have won two.
or three.
It's tied. It's
possibly.
2-2.
We lost
2-2.
one for sure. I know.
Okay.
Nonetheless, you
The
guys are
Hitler
catching
one,
your
we all
stride.
lost.
Here's what Will's
Yeah, I hear
rant truly acknowledges. Will gets it. Ricky's honed in. Doug hates that he's here.
No, dude,
That's
I'm
what
just, like,
this.
trying.
I
Like, couldn't
personally
figure out
go
it was
down
Wiz
the
Khalifa,
wiki
but it's
hole.
like,
I
I'm
go down the
trying to
wiki
follow
hole.
Dude,
all
you
your
could
time.
ask anything. Does he like cars? I'd say yes, and Challengers. Like, just come up with something. Like, say, does he like this? What's his sports team? Steelers. That literally, Brad Richardson put that, and I was like, maybe there's something here. Doug, could it be a Steelers player?
Oh, shit. I ever see
Ask
that?
the damn question.
We hit Appalachia. He's like, I thought it was John Denver. I was like,
I would have, except I knew
I
he
love
was
Brad
dead.
Richardson.
I knew he was dead.
He's like, down the wiki hole's the
He's
best.
not dead.
Why? Because this is the most
'Cause this is a
unhinged
shit
and
show.
raw.
Yeah,
You
this
see
is a
this
shit
whole
show.
crew.
Every time.
It's a
Oh
shit
my
show.
God. It's the Wiz Khalifa. I knew it. I knew it. You didn't even ask
No,
the question.
I said as soon as it was Wiz Khalifa, I was like, Alex fucking called it. Alex nailed it. I have to give it to Alex. He fucking called it from the beginning. He fucking knew I would be
Don't
like,
prove him
"Ah,
right
he
next
doesn't."
time, Doug.
Alex-
Don't prove Alex right. Don't
Alex
prove
knows
the
me.
studio right.
That's why we're
Because
friends.
I've heard Doug say this name a million times for 2 decades.
It's been a while though,
Please,
man.
please, next time we do this, pick an individual he would have no idea ever existed on this plane
No.
of reality.
Next time,
Just
no.
for him, just for him to be
Who
like,
is
oh,
it?
yeah.
Who is it? Luffy.
No, if you guys want to challenge me,
That'd
you'll
be fucking
choose
funny.
one that's Tom Petty and make me work for it because I fucking love
Doug,
Tom
it was
Petty.
No, we
your.
just made you work for Wiz Khalifa.
We just picked your black Tom Petty, and you fought
dude,
me
I'm not
tooth
that
and
big
nail
into
the
Wiz.
entire time.
I'm not that big into Wiz. I would have
You
never.
knew him. You knew it all.
It's been a long
You know
time
what?
since I've
Here's-
listened to Wiz.
This is what I'll say. I want 2025 Doug Saluka to debate 2015 Doug Saluka.
Those
that
are
guy,
different Dougs.
I'm the biggest Wiz Khalifa guy. Black and yellow, black and yellow.
Those are different
Doug
Dougs.
was wiping his ass with a terrible towel just in solidarity. He's like, I'm me and this guy. We go deep.
Never.
We go
Alex,
deep.
Alex, you damn well know I'd never use a terrible towel, and you know it. You know it.
Hey, Ricky,
Dude, this
do
is
me a
fun.
favor. Tell the folks where they can find you.
The notepads help. I keep my notes while I
The
do
notepad
this.
was clutch. Ricky was taking notes, and he was locked in. Mind you, he's the only one that was on
Yo,
track.
That, like,
Will and Doug,
the way you worded
we
it,
should
he's
not-
alive. Doug, is he alive? You asked that. You didn't even ask if he was black. What the
Why would
We
I
should-
ask about race? Race doesn't matter to me, Will.
It's
a game that you have to guess a person, Doug.
At the end. That was like the big curveball, the two-strike curveball.
Race doesn't matter to
All
me.
right,
I
all right,
love
right.
Ricky. All right. I
Ricky.
love Ricky.
Tell the folks where they can find you. Inside, outside, where they got to be.
Yo, we out here, man. Just another day TV. I'm doing more. I'm trying to do more. We outside, man. We just out here trying to live our best. Be our best. every day.
With that consideration, you've definitely got to go check out Ricky's. He's had some really fun clips. Him and Aulette doing the guessing game of what product they're hiding. There's been some really fun clips, and they've got plenty of fun podcasts coming out too. So you be sure to head over to Just Another Day TV and don't miss all the new drops coming your way. With that consideration, guys, we're here live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. The whole purpose of the live show is to get you involved. Kudos to Straight Bombs, and more importantly, Brad Richardson is always holding down the fort, because the whole purpose of the live show is so you can season our dialogue with a little additional perspective. We want to get the audience involved and have a full dynamic conversation. So we appreciate everybody that joins us. But otherwise, we've got a whole slew of things in store. As Brad Richardson touched upon, did you guys hear? Phillip Rivers is back in the ring, and we're going to have a fun conversation this Sunday for the Sunday Football Review. Last week, we woke up and started our Sunday off with some of the craziest Elf on the Shelf videos, and if you missed it, be sure to head over to Rethink Actions. We've also had an upgrade on the Neuro Gym. It's a new styled dynamic, kind of forced my hand in this upgrade with our website provider, but in many ways, it's gonna pay out in the long run. I think it's going to be a cooler design. So to join the Neuro Gym, it's a free social media alternative where we, the Rethink Tank, can all engage with each other and correspond, but even more importantly, gives you the ability to give us topics and ideas that you could have on our wheel of topics. So when we close out the episode, we could have you as a featured element. Of course, we needed to get the down the wiki hole back. So, be sure to expect the wheel to be a part of the show coming next week once again. But with all these different considerations, different shows, even a new announcement, I'm excited to exclaim. Wednesdays, I'm going to have a Rethink Actions live drop that you could plan for Wednesday evenings. And then Thursday evenings, right here on this channel, we're going to be doing So Here's Where I'm At live. It's really hard sometimes to get all these different So Here's Where I'm At edited and put together. So to start cranking them out and keeping it going, we're going to be doing it live here on the Rethink Tank. So with all these different shows coming at you, it's a perfect place to find it in one central place. That's our website at www.rethinktankpodcast.com. So we appreciate everybody joining us, and we'll catch you next week. Peace.